This is where they saw him stumbling around. We traveled to Point Pleasant, West Virginia to search for the famed creature, the Mothman. We investigate the Phoenix Lights.
There are references of giant flying shields.
We investigate Villa Montezuma. You leave me no choice. The infamous Sorrel-Weed house. It's quite creepy.
Hard to pin down what they might do.
Yeah, let's get into it. So we're on our way to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, home of the Mothman. I think you're gonna really like this town.
Fuck, I think we're in the moth nest.
If we're gonna find a Mothman, it's gonna be out here. This goes beyond belief.
Are you scared?
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we travel to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, as we dip our toes back into the cryptid pool again to search for the famed creature, the Mothman.
Oh, very impressive.
Can you see that?
That's good.
You'll see firsthand when we travel to West Virginia, which we're gonna do soon after I.
What do you need these?
Well, these are my Mothman gloves. I use these to catch it. Look at the grip. I'm gonna grip them by the talons.
You need those to read the.
Yeah, let's get into it. The Mothman is a cryptozoological creature that is thought to have made its first appearance in 1966. Witnesses have described the creature to be man-like in stature, often seen walking on its two hind legs. The Mothman is spotted primarily at night, and its color is tough to discern. Sometimes it's described as gray, other times as brown. However, the gigantic frame of the Mothman is largely undisputed. Across all accounts, the Mothman is a physically imposing specimen ranging from 6 to 8 feet tall. As its name would suggest, the Mothman is capable of flight, sporting 2 enormous wings with a monstrous 8 to 15 foot wingspan. One chilling detail that is reported in many sightings is the Mothman's unforgettable and haunting red eyes. A red described by one woman as, quote, red like you never saw red, end quote.
Moths aren't even scary. People say Mothman and I don't shiver.
I think he's called Mothman not because he looks like a giant moth. A giant moth would have like almost butterfly wings, right?
He doesn't have butterfly wings?
He looks kind of more like Batman's wings.
Well, then they shouldn't call him a Mothman.
We'll take it up with whoever made it up.
The Sky Beast.
Sky Beast. You just literally put together the two things that it's...
Moon Monster.
It's pretty dumb.
The Cloud Fiend.
No. I see some, let's go through some other ones.
You want to see my other one?
Yeah, what are the other ones you got?
The Evil Eagle. Dr. Sky Shadow. Mr. Windbiter.
Mr. Windbiter.
Hey, he's flying through the air.
You said it out loud, you're still gonna stand by it?
Teeth gnashing. That's good.
What about no, that's bad.
What do you got?
No, that was bad. One. I was gonna say Wingatron.
Wingatron?
Yeah, that sounds
like a robot,
yeah,
right?
It sounds like a robot, yeah. It was in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where the Mothman became famous, hence our presence in the town now. In fact, a statue of the famed creature sits in the center of town for those seeking a face-to-face encounter. Stop number 1, Mothman statue.
It looks very ornate.
You'll be able to stare at it eye to eye.
What's that supposed to be?
It means you're 8 feet tall. It's a tall joke. Get it? Look at its eyes.
Yeah, they're a beautiful amber or something.
I was gonna say they're pure terror. I could feel it coursing through my veins. Oh my God, he's got a full 6-pack. Look at that. This guy definitely P90Xs.
He's like a George Clooney Batman.
Hopefully this isn't our only face-to-face encounter with the Mothman. Maybe we'll find one in the woods and he'll look nothing like this and we'll have to contact the board of West Virginia and say you need to change your statue because the boys have solved it.
Yeah, I certainly don't think he's gonna have G.I. Joe armor on.
You don't think he's gonna have the bat suit on with knee pads?
It's a little odd. See this guy's ass, by the way?
Oh my God. The purpose of our pilgrimage to Point Pleasant is to catch a glimpse of the Mothman. But if that effort proves to be fruitless, we can still enjoy the influence of Mothmania that is ever present across town. For starters, there's an annual Mothman festival every September, and Mothman souvenirs sit stocked on shelves, ready for eager tourists year-round. At the Coffee Grinder, you can order various Mothman treats, including chocolate Mothman droppings, Mothman coffee, as well as a delightful Mothman cookie, complete with red eyes.
So this is the Coffee Grinder. This is one of the many locations around town where you could pick up some Mothman treats. You excited?
Yeah, they got a little Mothman lives here.
He does.
He's sort of like the funny little mascot of this town. Thank you.
Good mascot. Oh man. This is nice and cozy. And look at that.
Yeah, feels right.
You think he'll look this friendly when we see him?
Probably. I don't know if he'll be smiling like that. Like, yeah, that's better. Oh, stop that.
What do you think his voice would sound like?
So,
It's me, the Mothman.
No, it's probably.
It's me.
There you go.
The Mothman.
Yeah.
You,
Mouse-like.
You boys from out of town?
Shall we eat some droppings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this feels weird. I don't know.
Feels right.
Sweet starter and a nutty and crunchy finish. So we have the adult here, and then the baby.
Yeah.
I'm greatly enjoying this moment. This is
this
nice.
is really something.
This is good. Now let me take a sip. This is good. Is this what those Worth It boys feel like?
Not enough gold.
Finally, at Village Pizza, you can order the delectable namesake Mothman pizza.
Oh, you're going through that door? I was gonna open the door. All right. What the? Jesus Christ.
This Mothman pizza honors pedestrian toppings with the responsibility of mimicking the look of the famed creature. The clever arrangement enlists blood red cherry tomatoes for eyes, bell peppers for feet, and spooky mushrooms for wings.
So this is very fun for them.
He is, without a doubt, a big part of their commerce in terms of tourism. If I'm going to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, I would go there for the Mothman.
Yeah.
And these people are on board.
I just like that the town can rally around it.
Some people have posited that the people of this town have made Mothman up as a beacon of tourism.
Oh, Ryan.
Which I
never.
don't
Impossible.
I don't buy for a second.
No?
Nah, I snit for bullshit. Foolproof. Passed the Bergara smell test.
I don't trust that test one bit.
I do. Because it's my test. You know?
Shut up.
All right, there it is.
Oh, thank you.
He's looking at me right now.
Yeah, those beady little eyes.
Those
They kind of
beady
look like
little
yours.
eyes.
Look at me now, Shane. What do you think of me?
I like this guy. I like his vibe.
Oh, thanks.
We got the wings right here, the torso, this little bell pepper
Two
feet.
little legs.
That's amazing.
If I saw this in the woods, I wouldn't necessarily be all that scared.
Actually, the eyes would be pretty terrifying.
Yeah, those are actually pretty creepy.
I don't know. I like it. I dig it. I can't wait to eat his body.
I call one of the eyepieces.
There's only 2 of us here, so I'm gonna obviously get the other one.
Fine.
It's good.
While at Village Pizza, the manager sat with us to share a story of a Mothman sighting.
What's the scariest tale you've heard from someone in terms of sighting the Mothman?
Danny Scarberry's mother, she said that one night she had to fight him off because he come in to get Danny. She was like 6 months old, was in her bed, and she had to fight the Mothman off because he was trying to grab the baby.
He was trying to steal her baby?
Yeah, that was her story, but I mean, she was very convincing, and it's sad to say she's dead and gone now, but that was a very scary.
She fought the Mothman.
Well, she didn't.
Oh my God.
She didn't actually fight.
Oh.
She didn't actually fight him, but I mean, she wrestled and got her baby from him.
Oh, yikes.
That's her story.
Well, that was educational.
It was good.
Got my souvenirs. It was good. It's time.
These 2 weirdly optimistic pilgrims are ready to embark on our menacing Mothman mission. Let's begin at the main sighting that started Mothmania as we know it.
All right, so this is the McClintock Wildlife Management Area. This is the area of the main sighting.
This looks like the kind of area you'd see a Mothman.
A Mothman, exactly,
Yeah.
right? Sparse.
Not a lot of people out here.
Yet there's parts that are densely wooded.
Yeah. It seems like a good road to be terrified on.
During World War II, 8,000 acres of a wooded area near Point Pleasant, West Virginia, were employed to manufacture and house explosives. The explosives were housed in concrete igloos dispersed across the land. After the war, the effort was abandoned, and the area was partially converted into a wildlife preserve that is now known today as the McClintock Wildlife Management Area. In the 80s, it was uncovered that byproducts of the explosives had critically contaminated the land. And yet, to this day, the igloos and some of their hazardous materials remain. Some speculate that this contamination mutated local birds into what would eventually become the Mothman. But that's purely speculation.
I don't think that's how that stuff works. I think usually if you come into contact with maybe something radioactive or something, you die.
Or you turn into the Mothman. I mean, what are the odds of it? They ain't zero. We'll park here and then we'll make our way out into the wildlife preserve. It's daytime right now, but
What are we doing?
nightfall's gonna come soon.
Yeah.
And you know I always come prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hunters around here. I don't want to get shot.
No, I know. We don't want you to get shot.
So I'm breaking out Old Faithful.
No helmet this time?
No, I don't have any reports of Mothman hitting people over the head with rocks, so I don't think it's necessary this time around.
I guess, you know, in some sense, you may be making yourself a better target for Mothman to just
Well, maybe
fly
I'll
out of the
lure him
sky
out.
and grab you by his talons.
Maybe he'll be a lot like Bigfoot and be like, oh, what a colorful vest.
You think we should try and bro down with Mothman too?
Oh yeah, I didn't bring a beer for him. He doesn't strike me as a beer type. He strikes me more as a wine guy.
He struck me as like a field mice kind of guy.
Despite the dangerous material stored there in years past, in 1966, this area, often called the TNT area, was a popular destination for local youth. As such, on November 15th, 1966, Steve and Mary Mallett and Roger and Linda Scarberry were enjoying a leisurely drive through the TNT area. Unfortunately, their amusement would come to a screeching halt when the two women, Linda and Mary, spotted a figure near the TNT plant. The figure began to move towards the building's entrance in a shuffling manner, providing them a fine opportunity to observe the creature. While they initially thought it looked a lot like a man, it clearly did not have arms or a head. It had massive folded wings high on the back, and perhaps most noteworthy, two beaming red eyes. So my guess is the couples were somewhere around here, maybe on that road over there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure of the exact location, but this is where they saw him stumbling around.
They just saw him kind of shambling,
Yeah.
big shambling man, kind of.
I don't know. Maybe he was just taking a walk. I mean, what's it to you?
Well, why would you take a walk if you
He's
had
a
wings?
fucking creature. He could do what he wants.
After being spellbound momentarily by the creature, the couples came to their senses and took off in their car, terrified.
Any thoughts on that so far?
Nope. What year is it? 66?
66.
Few teens out there probably smoking a few funny cigarettes,
You could say weed. It's 2018.
some grass.
As they made their way towards Highway 62 in Roger Scarberry's 1957 Chevy, they saw the being appear in front of them and rise directly up into the sky. The creature had a gargantuan 10-foot wingspan, and the couples noted that it did not need to flap its wings as it chased the car at speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, quote, gliding above and behind the vehicle, end quote. The creature made a noise similar to a, quote, record played at a high speed, or squeak of a mouse, end quote. Not exactly the most terrorizing sound.
And this is why I think maybe these people aren't lying, because if they were lying, that seems like a weird detail to make up. You would say, it opened its mouth and the mountains moved with the force of the roar.
Yeah.
And they went, no, it squeaked like a little baby mouse. That's what happened. I was terrified.
It was easy to do the Bigfoot call at a very loud volume, but it's going to be hard out there to
Give me your best Mothman squeak. This is the noise you're gonna make to try and attract another moth person.
I'm going to try two different approaches to this.
Okay, I can't wait to hear
One's
both.
going to be an exhale, and then one's going to be an inhale. So my first one is... That's one. My other one is going to be a little more high-pitched because it's going to be the inhale.
The first one was all right. I'll give you that. The second one kind of sounded like you were smothering a dolphin. Also, your eyes kind of rolled back. It was just a weird performance all around.
It's a gift.
I guess I could try one.
Yeah, just try and inhale. It sounded like a pig giving birth.
I thought mine was rather good. Sound off in the comments. Whose screech was
Chime
better?
off, let us know.
Fortunately, the creature stopped chasing the couples and disappeared as the couples neared the populated area of town. Linda Scarberry wanted to report it to the police, but they were concerned that they would not be taken seriously. As a result, in an audacious move, they decided to return to the place of the sighting to confirm what they had seen. To their affirmation/terror, they once again saw the creature, this time stumbling around in a dark pasture. This spurred the couples to head straight for the Mason County Courthouse to file a report.
First off, by the way, most of the time, people naturally will just run away and they'll tell the story. Very few times have I seen a case where the people will then return to the site and try and confirm that they weren't going crazy and that they actually saw what they saw, and that's what these 4 people did.
Yeah, it's very noble.
Yeah, and they did that, they saw it, they're like, okay, we confirmed, now let's go to the police.
Deputy Millard Halstead was on hand to take the report. Due to the size of the town, Deputy Halstead knew the couples and believed their claims to be sincere. The handwritten eyewitness police reports from the Mallets and the Scarberrys is actually on display at the Mothman Museum. The couples claim that the police put all 4 of them in separate rooms and asked them each to write down what happened that night. All of the accounts match.
I mean, they're gonna, right?
No, okay, I'm gonna ask you to possibly incriminate yourself a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Think of any time you've partaken in the smoking of the ganja.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, first off. Whatever.
Legalize
I mean,
it, though.
now it's legal, so you can do whatever you want.
Get it out
In
there.
California it is, at least. Anyways, think of you are smoking it with 3 of your buddies.
Yeah.
And now imagine that you were so out of it that you imagined a giant moth creature. And then after that, you go to the police, one of the worst things you could possibly do when you're high, and then you all tell the same details of a story. The only way I feel like you could tell something with concrete details that match everybody else's story is if it in fact happened, at least when you're under the influence.
That's true. Oh, okay, I'll give it to you. This is a point for Mothman. Understand, I want to believe in Mothman.
So is this the part where when I make a good argument, you're just gonna be like, well, I believed it anyway?
I said at the top of the show
Yeah, you
that
did
I
say
want,
that.
Yeah. Watch yourself.
You watch yourself.
You watch yourself.
Why don't you write down some more
don't you-
names?
The gliding
Just cut it off. You don't want that.
is a little too pleasant.
Eventually, the couples and Deputy Millard Halstead made their way back to the sighting area where they heard strange noises, saw strange shadows, and an unexplained dust cloud. A hoof-like footprint was also found in the sand around the area. Linda Scarberry was treated for shock following the events and reportedly experienced some unnerving phone calls as well as visits by the Men in Black who would intimidate her.
I like those guys.
Yeah.
Our old pals.
Will Smith and Tommy Lee are back.
What are you doing
You
there?
hear that?
Yeah.
You made a cameo on this one.
Nothing to say about this one, huh?
It's weird. He only moves when he wants to.
The morning after the Mothman sighting, the Mason County Sheriff George Johnson held a press conference, and from there, the story started trending in local and national news. Eventually, the creature was dubbed Mothman by the press, inspired by the Batman series.
People actually thought he looked very much like Batman. I read a report where a guy said, there's Batman on my neighbor's roof. He flew up into the sky.
Do you have a utility belt?
I don't know if he had a utility belt, but I will say if I was a kid and I saw what I thought was Batman on my neighbor's roof, I wouldn't be scared. I would try and go get an autograph.
Yeah. You'd be like, Batman, you're my favorite superhero. And he'd go, never mind.
Looking out, this is actually pretty serene and beautiful in the daytime, but night falls almost upon us, and then that's when
That's when the boys come out.
the Mothman will come out, and then we'll have him.
Sightings of the Mothman began to pile up. Police estimated that over 1,000 people were looking for the Mothman each night until midnight. And tonight, history, as it so often does, will repeat itself as we attempt to find the creature ourselves.
You genuinely believe that there's a Mothman out here?
I'm not so sure I'm sold on the Mothman, and here we are. But I will say, we're in the area where the main sighting happened, where a lot of the sightings happened. If we're gonna find a Mothman, it's gonna be out here.
After the Scarberry/Mallet sightings, a Point Pleasant woman named Marcella Bennett, her 3-year-old daughter, her brother Raymond, and her brother's wife encountered the Mothman while visiting family friends. Marcella explained in an interview with researcher and author Andy Colvin, quote, "He was shaped like a male, the huge wings, the way he was standing, the head like a bird. I'll never forget the way he was standing. It was like he was just relaxing, like he was just waiting for that moment for me to walk up. The neck looked like it went down in, like a bird, way down in the neck. To me, it wasn't of this world," end quote. Like Linda Scarberry, Marcella suffered side effects after the incident, including anxiety, paranoia, and nightmares.
If I'm the Mothman, and I am not,
I don't think anyone was saying that.
I'm not going to make people feel paranoid and afraid. I'm gonna make them think, yeah, love that Mothman. I'm gonna walk out into the woods naked and serve myself up to the Mothman so he can have a little feast. Assuming the Mothman eats people.
I mean, I don't know if that's what his game is,
Oh.
but all I'm saying is that what you need to gather from this is that he has an effect on people's psyche.
This Mothman's a complicated character.
What does he sound like? What does he
He
sound
sounds like the blood bird. Flappy spookster.
come on.
The winged wretch. Did I ever say that?
This just says fright terror.
You know, just call him a Batman. Why is that hard?
After encountering the Mothman, Marcella Bennett also said that she could often feel Mothman's unnerving presence and, like other witnesses, developed the ability to have premonitions and psychic visions.
This is vaguely what I remember about that stupid Richard Gere movie.
Forget about the Richard Gere movie for a second.
I will never.
And just think about this. The Mothman is apparently he affects people's psyche in a way where they start to wig out a bit.
Yeah.
Paranormal events follow this thing, so it makes you start to wonder what the hell this thing actually is. It may not just be a cryptid. It may be, I don't know, an alien.
Linda Scarberry, the witness from the first Mothman encounter, claimed to hear disembodied noises and see items moving by themselves, which she attributed to a poltergeist. Simultaneously, other strange phenomena occurred around the time of the sightings. Interrupted police dispatches, malfunctioning electrical appliances, doors mysteriously opening and shutting, an increase in UFO sightings, and malfunctioning cars with no apparent explanation.
Seems like they're just kind of lumping it all in though, right?
Or if he is like an interdimensional being, he would obviously bring with him maybe chaos.
If you're an interdimensional being, are you gonna make a scene like this?
If you could jump between dimensions, why not around a little bit?
Oh, he can jump back and forth?
Yeah, kind of like a Cheshire cat.
Or Q from Star Trek.
Or Rick and Morty. If you could jump between dimensions, why wouldn't you have a little fun? It's not gonna have any effect on your dimension.
I'm coming around to this guy now. This guy kind of cracks me up.
He's in the cave somewhere, he has like a local antenna set up. He's just watching the news. Doors open and close in the neighborhood. UFO sightings. He's sitting there, he's loving it. He's loving it. He's throwing popcorn?
Yeah.
Holy shit, look at how red his face is. Oh my God. I thought I was gonna have to give you the Heimlich.
Okay.
So right now, I think we're about to come up on one of those hidden igloos. The ones that would hold explosives back in the day.
What kind of explosives did they hold in there?
TNT.
TNT?
Aren't you excited to go into one of these little bunkers? It's a World War II bunker.
It is pretty neat. How much action did Ohio see in World War II?
Oh my.
Okay, well.
Is it all good?
Definitely an echo.
Is it? Oh, it's very icy.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, it's slippery. I could see losing your mind in here. What's this string right here?
I don't know, pull it.
No, I'm not gonna pull it. You pull it.
What if it's a trap?
Or like a Mothman, the Mothman sitting up there going, just rubbing his palms together, hoping that we pull his little string.
I was thinking like a grocery bag full of shit or something.
Oh, like he's Kevin McAllister from Home Alone?
Yeah. Here, hold something.
I'll hold your flashlight. I have the thermal in one hand. Pretty confident there's no heat signatures in here. Oh God, I'm actually scared.
It's just there's not. Nothing happening.
That's where we die, we explode.
Skipping forward to modern times, in 2016, a man who would not provide his name claimed to have taken a photo of Mothman in West Virginia. The photo shows a two-legged, winged creature flying over the trees. However, most do not believe this is Mothman.
I'm not terribly impressed. That could just as easily be like a hawk.
I don't think it's a hawk, I don't think it's an owl. I do think it's a hoax.
What year was it?
2016.
Shopped! I gotta hand it to you. These are some woods.
Yeah.
Look at this. You know what this is? This is a giant nest. I think we're in the moth nest.
Man, if we just saw a silhouette fly over our heads right now.
Oh, that'd be thrilling.
All right, I'm scanning the trees right now. I guess that's what you would do, right? Is that Mothman hospitality, huh?
I mean, has it responded to calls?
Yeah, well, we know what it sounds like. You would think, logic would say if you make the noise, maybe he'll be deceived. Let's go deeper into the woods.
Okay.
Strangely, an outbreak of sightings occurred in 2017 in Chicago. According to the Chicago Tribune, there were over 20 reports of a, quote, winged humanoid, end quote, between April 7th, 2017 and July 29th, 2017 alone. The Tribune reports that the sightings are almost always at night and near a body of water. For those who don't believe, some have offered alternative explanations for Mothman sightings. Some believe that Mothman witnesses had seen sandhill cranes, a species of bird that can have a wingspan of 10 feet. Though, a sandhill crane had never been officially spotted in West Virginia at the time, although some unofficial reports had been made.
I see those a lot.
Sandhill cranes?
There's a lot in Illinois.
Do they sound like a little mousy?
It sounds kind of like,
Maybe sandhill cranes were what the people in Chicago saw, but there's none of those in West Virginia officially.
sandhill cranes. Look them up. A fascinating bird. I'm gonna own one someday. A taxidermied one, and it will be in my room.
Some have pointed out that some birds' eyes, such as owls, appear red when hit with light from a flashlight or car at night. The McClintock Wildlife Management Area, which surrounds the TNT area, is a bird sanctuary that contains owls.
Owls aren't that big.
No.
I can see someone maybe mistaking an owl for something else or seeing an owl and being confused by it.
One thing I will point out, and I don't know if this is confirmed, but I've seen it in a couple sources, that Linda Scarberry, when she saw the Mothman, she did claim that the eyes were only red when she shined a light at it.
It would make sense.
Either way, she also did say this thing chased them in their car, so pretty sure it's not an owl.
We should bring a gun. It's not a joke.
You know what? This is a perfect time for us to cut back to us investigating.
Let's see where we are.
I thought I was getting carried up into the trees.
Did you really?
As predicted, this is horrifying at nighttime. Mothman. I guess he wouldn't respond to that, would he? He doesn't even know his name is Mothman.
You don't. I mean, I don't know how intelligent it is. If it can communicate things to people.
Oh yeah, maybe. All right, are you gonna do your little?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
You go first. I'll go second. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get you here. Hold on. Let's try it again.
That's record being played quickly.
I guess. Here we go.
You look like a nun.
Do I?
A little bit in this view, yeah. You
Is it in
really
focus?
Yeah. You look like a rave nun.
What the
Well, those are coyotes or dogs or a large pack of something.
Holy shit.
So it's just some coyotes.
Are you not alarmed right now?
Are you scared?
Dude, what are you this goes beyond belief. That was a pack of whatever the fuck that was.
It was coyotes.
Is that our cue to leave? I think maybe. We've been out here for quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna find anything tonight.
I don't want to be in the mouth of some coyote later. That's not how I want the picture wrap on Old Bergara to be.
All right, well, another good cryptid hunt. We're 0 for 2, but I think next time.
The odds were stacked against us on this one. There's no way to catch this thing. We're giving up.
You win this time, Mothman, but I'll be back.
Okay, you know what's funny though?
Yeah.
Is our Mothman call actually attracted the coyotes. So it worked for something.
You think that was us?
I think the call, it proved it. It wasn't all for show. It had value.
Both of us are masters of the Mothman call.
Well, yeah, we should be on Animal Planet.
We should.
I'm just gonna pause here for a second.
Yeah.
Give it one last go. How about that? Last chance!
I think you've offended the Mothman.
In the end, nobody truly knows what the Mothman is, let alone if he actually exists. Some have suggested that Mothman could be of demonic or angelic origin. Others believe that Mothman could actually be an extraterrestrial, connecting Mothman with bright lights seen in the sky. Some even believe Mothman could be an ultra-terrestrial, a creature from another dimension. As for me, I'm not quite sure what I believe, but I do find the voluminous docket of sightings to be curious for something that is not real. Nonetheless, as our efforts have proved today, the existence of Mothman continues to elude us and will remain, for now, unsolved.
Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was the Mothman. All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page and our BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page. Obviously, this is not Shane.
Yes, I'm a new and improved Shane. Just kidding.
There it is. I agree. I agree.
Much shorter and much hairier version of Shane.
Yeah, and most importantly, no hot dogger. I'm gonna celebrate that a little bit, and I get to hang out with Curly.
Yes.
Win-win. He's the resident BuzzFeed Unsolved expert, I would say.
Groupie I like.
Let's go expert. So before we get into this, every time I have someone in this show that's not Shane, we gotta establish, where do you fall on the Bugara Shaniac spectrum? What are your beliefs?
Ooh, how do I feel like I'm more towards your side, because I feel like with our upbringings, like there's certain things that we, like especially Latin folk, like we don't do or we do. We have like certain traditions that some people might see as being superstitious, but for us, they're just a part of our life.
Exactly.
You know, we never put our bags on the floor because we know we might lose money.
Yeah.
You don't sweep over people's feet. Like you don't keep a mirror in front of the front. I mean, you do keep a mirror in front of the door, your front door, but those are things that I was raised with. So whenever I hear you being like, I'm not messing with that demon, I'm like, me either, you know?
Take that, Shaniacs.
Yeah.
Megan Underwood says, as a West Virginia native, I was very excited to see you guys do an episode on Mothman. However, there was no mention of the collapse of the Silver Bridge. It is many people's belief that the Mothman actually died during the collapse.
But it kills him though? Is
I
that what
don't
she's
know
saying?
if it kills him,
Yeah,
because
that's
he
what
has
I-
been kind of spotted in recent times.
Yep.
Basically, people believe that Mothman is kind of like an angel of death. And in this case, he shows up, and very shortly after, a bridge that collapses without warning kills about 30 people. I personally don't know if I buy that, just because the people who built the bridge kind of looked at it, did a postmortem, and then they realized, yeah, this bridge was kind of destined to fall eventually. It was faulty engineering. I'm not a Shaniac, but I will say that seems more plausible than the Mothman being like, yo, told you so.
This next one comes from @Aquamarie Cosplay. She said, my chemistry teacher has a haunted periodic table of elements and a lava lamp. Should I send them your way? Yes, send it to my house.
Don't send it here.
Unless I'm tripping on what a periodic table is, it's just where all the letters are.
Yeah, it's the periodic, it shows all the elements of the world. I had to memorize them And
That's why it's haunted. It's haunting our dreams.
it's definitely haunting my dreams.
See, but I'd much rather be one of those ghosts that like slam doors, break dishes, like leave things open, turn on the lights. Like I'm not gonna be like, I'm in a little lava lamp. You know, there's no.
That's true. I guess there is a little bit of level of nuance to that.
You need to think bigger, ghosts. You need to dream much bigger than a lava lamp.
Jesus Christ, what are we doing here? This one comes from Facebook, from Susan Case. Here's a suggestion. Shane is the Mothman. That's why he was so enthralled when she was talking about the Mothman who fought the woman who fought the Mothman, and why he's so good at the cry. In addition, he couldn't stop insisting that the Mothman wasn't real. It is because he is the Mothman and doesn't want anyone to know. Checkmate, Shane, if that's actually your name. Shane Mothman Madej.
Wow.
Hashtag BuzzFeed solved.
Oh my God. I feel like Shane is such a sweet little angel pie. He's a love angel music baby, a little lamb. So I would never call him a demon, but I think a Mothman. Why are you laughing so hard?
Well, you said like 6 words in succession that like, I'm trying to like process them all together. I was like, yeah, those fucking work.
Love angel music baby, a little lamb.
If I tried to do that, it would be a mishmash of words. It'd be verbal garbage.
From Facebook, Benjamin Valdez. Benjamin. A man named Ingrid Cold was connected to the Mothman. Do the research. It's really creepy as hell. Do it.
I looked into this as well. Basically, some people call him the Smiling Man. Around the time Mothman was going on, this guy was driving on the road. He saw like this metallic craft behind him. It stopped, got out of the car, and it was a man in a suit. He had like kind of like olive-ish skin, and he talked to this guy without his mouth moving. People think that this guy is somehow connected to the Mothman.
It could be. I mean, we can't really be like, no, you can't, it can't possibly be the same person.
Yeah, once you start talking about a giant moth, I think everything's kind of on the table.
Everything's on the table
right?
at this point. It did give me a little bit of like the chills listening and thinking about this man who's just like talking to you and just like smiling but not saying anything really.
Yeah, I don't like people who have an ever-present grin on their face.
I like to do that sometimes late at night. I go into the bathroom and I like look at myself and I like smile really big and I freak myself out and I'm like, oh, and then I just like leave and turn off all the lights. But I don't know if that's
It's pretty weird. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat
No one else does that.
That's very strange.
You just like scare yourself and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, it is what it is, you know.
Lonely.
This comes from @BlackLily. Yale scientific hypotheses that humans would need a minimum 22-foot wingspan to fly, but then wouldn't be strong enough. Even assuming the Mothman was incredibly strong, how do you account for its wingspan, reportedly, not being even close to the width needed for a creature of its size? The answer is not demons, #Shaniacs. If this thing can move things with its mind and manipulate people through its mind and cause things to happen, I don't think the wingspan matters that much.
Dun, 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 dun.
From Facebook.
Is that Schott? Okay, so we're gonna say Gianna Schott. She said, I think the Mothman is a demon! Lots of exclamation points. First of all, it has glowing eyes just like the Goat Man did. Ooh, Mothman and Goat Man.
Yeah.
It also is able to alter people's feelings and emotions just like both Sally and the Goat Man. Also, he can fly, and let's be real, demons can definitely fly. Can they though?
I'll allow it.
I don't know a lot of demons, to be honest.
That's true, I only know one.
Finally, he hasn't materialized into a human form, and demons can't materialize into any human form other than children. This person is so like matter of fact, like nope, demons cannot do this, but they can do this. I'm sure of It's a Demon. Guess you'll be doing 2 demon episodes this season. Hope it doesn't come at a great cost. Actually, she put an exclamation point at that, so it's like, hope it doesn't come at a great cost.
If I had to put my money on something, I would say he's more an interdimensional being. And that's, I guess, where I could kind of like get behind the theory that, yeah, he may be able to be an omen of some sort, or something like that.
Oh, you know what? I heard somebody one time say that like dimensions are like the blades of a fan. Have you ever heard that? When you see like the blade of a fan, if it's like slower, like that's the dimension that we're on, and when it goes faster, like just because you can't see the blade anymore doesn't mean that it's not there. So I always think that like, oh, maybe these beings exist on faster like dimensions, like faster realities that we just can't see, you know? But I also don't believe that like, if this thing is coming to like warn us or like be like, there's a bridge that's gonna collapse, like, I don't think it's a demon.
The more I think about it, the more I don't buy that he was trying to warn anybody. Unless he wasn't trying to warn us, and this motherfucker was like, I want a front row seat to this shit,
Could be in
because
on
that
it.
collapse is gonna be dope.
Yep.
This piece of shit was like, with the popcorn, like, can't wait for this to go down.
He's loving it.
With all due respect, Mothman, if you're watching this, you could go fuck yourself.
Mothman, you can call me. I remember those abs in that hairy chest.
See this guy's ass, by the way?
Oh my God. Moving on to Ethan Walker from Facebook. It was teenagers in the 60s. They were most likely on drugs. And as soon as one of them thinks they see something, it becomes a shared delusion for all of them, even if it's not real. The other claimed sightings are after news coverage, and it's because they want to see it. If they see anything human-like with big wings and or with red eyes, they see the pattern and assign the name Mothman to it. If it is real and a Mothman was used in the video, how do they coexist with humans all the time? If it is real, I'd say it's extraterrestrial. My eye just twitched. That was fucking weird.
It's the Mothman.
Or it has the ability to pop through dimensions to avoid being seen. Overall, I don't believe this one is real. You know what? This could be 4 teens getting high off their ass, taking a little drive, out to the forest, thinking they see something. Go, whoa, bro, I thought we fucking saw that. Yeah, I thought I saw that too. And they're talking about the whole way over to the police station. Somehow they remember the details and they match up.
I feel like if you're high though, the last place you go to is the police station though. Not that I've, Kel Marie Williams says, Ryan, I'd just like for you to know that you're supposed to wear orange to not get shot out in the boonies. Not a bright yellow vest with reflectors on it. Lamau, or laughing my ass off.
Lamau. I think it's kind of funny that there seems to be some dead set rule, like as if me wearing yellow, a hunter's gonna see me and goes, not wearing orange.
Not orange.
It just fucking blows me away because
That's
I'm
not
wearing
orange.
orange. If they shoot me because I'm wearing yellow, I don't think the vest would have really mattered.
Yeah. Did you feel anything while you were out there?
I felt fear, but I feel fear everywhere. When that pack of coyotes started howling. Holy shit.
So there's just some coyotes.
Are you not fucking alarmed right now? I was very afraid. I did not want to be in the mouth of a coyote.
Oh no, that's scary. That for me, I'm like, hell no.
And Shane was like, isn't this incredible?
Oh no.
And I was like, that's when I knew this man truly does not feel fear.
No.
But I'll go rock climbing or something, but I'm not gonna like laugh in the face of a pack of coyotes because I think, maybe we'll die.
Although that would be a fun way to go, I think, like a pack of coyotes. How did Curly go? Well, he just fucking got eaten by a pack of coyotes. And then they threw him in some orange soda.
Holy shit. Well, that does it for this episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem. Make sure you send in your questions after you watch the next episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, and maybe you'll be on the next Postmortem. Send in those questions to the BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page and the BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page. Wow, that means this is actually the end of the episode. You don't have to sit through 5 minutes of the musings of a madman, a grown man talking about little food creatures traveling through space. That's what we've come to now. That's what's happening.
Oh,
and I'm actually
baby.
angry that I'm even talking about it right now. In fact,
You miss him.
Me talking about it right now means he's won in a weird way. And I'm just realizing that. So you know what? Let's just cut this off before I do any more damage. See you guys next time.
Bye guys.
Tonight, something strange happened in the skies over Arizona that still hasn't been fully explained. An event now known as the Phoenix Lights.
It was extraordinary.
No one knows for sure what happened that night in the skies over Arizona in March, but thousands of people saw something.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate the Phoenix Lights, a possible UFO sighting in Phoenix, Arizona. This case is regarded by many to be one of the bigger UFO cases of all time, mainly because of the amount of witnesses. You already look like you're stoked.
I love it. I love it. A lot of times it's like, oh, this person saw a lady get abducted by minions, but nobody had a camera.
Well, not today, friend. Not today, because spoiler alert, let me just take a little peek in there. It's hot.
You didn't even look.
Ooh,
there you go.
There's so much heat in here. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Okay.
On March 13th, 1997, around 7 p.m., a string of about 5 lights in a V formation appeared in the sky above Phoenix, Arizona. The National UFO Reporting Center reported that the first call regarding the lights came in at 8:16 p.m. from a retired police officer in Paulden, Arizona, which is about 2 hours north of Phoenix. the retired police officer reported he saw, quote, a cluster of red-orange lights arranged in a V formation, end quote. The National UFO Reporting Center reportedly began to get a flood of calls from south of Paulden, suggesting the lights were moving in a southeastern direction. Allegedly, there were over 700 witnesses, including pilots, police officers, and military officials that were lighting up the National UFO Reporting Center's switchboards, looking for an explanation. Some described the lights as orbs, others said triangles. A large amount of witnesses described the lights as part of a singular massive craft, a craft that made no noise.
So some people saw a craft. I got an air bubble in my throat right now. You hear that? You ever get that? This is scary. I don't sound like myself.
Oh, you sound...
I sound like an alien.
You sound alien.
I'm like a pod person. Okay. Yeah, you know, that's that thing. You look in the darkness long enough, you're gonna see something.
Yeah, 700 people are gonna all hallucinate at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, some of them did, some of them didn't. I mean, it's not hallucinating. I'm saying some of the people looked up and said,
Misidentified.
oh, I see something. I'm staring at the darkness. Are those all connected? Well, what's my mind doing?
Here's a crazy
in March?
thought. No, I may be going off the deep end here, but if 700 people say they saw something, what if they actually saw something?
No doubt they saw something. But what is that thing?
What?
That's the question.
One man named Terry Proctor captured one of the only videos of this event. The grainy, low-quality video, which we can't show you due to copyright, seemingly displays 5 lights in a V-like pattern in the sky. Around 10 p.m., a second set of as many as 9 lights appeared in the sky, seemingly hovering in the same spot. Whether these lights are related to, or are in fact the same lights from the 7 p.m. sighting is unclear. However, it's this set of lights that comprises most of eyewitness testimony, as it was later in the night after the buzz of the first sighting had people on alert.
It seems not the usual MO for aliens, right? To sort of do a little appetizer.
This is a weird case because there's a possibility that one was legit and one actually was something normal but was misidentified. So it confuses things.
Curious.
Or they were the same thing. I think either is just as likely. I think it's possible that aliens knew they were going to be seen or didn't know they were going to be seen. One of them fucked up, was asleep at the wheel, forgot to turn on the cloaking device or some crazy shit like that.
It's just a button.
And now he's fired and he's looking for work. His wife divorced him. His little alien kids don't have income to live off of. It's a really bad situation for that alien father.
I don't think aliens have money.
A laser printer technician named Dana Valentine witnessed the craft from his yard in Phoenix. Quote, "We could see the outline of a mass behind the lights, but you couldn't actually see the mass. It was more like a gray distortion of the night sky, wavy. I don't know exactly what it was, but I know it's not a technology the public has heard of before," end quote. Tim Lee, a management consultant, described the event saying, quote, "It was astonishing and a little frightening. It was so big and so strange. You couldn't actually see the object. All you could see was the outline, as though something was blotting out the stars. The lights looked like gas. There was a distortion on the surface. Also, the light didn't spill out or shine. I've never seen a light like that," end quote. According to a USA Today article from the time, air traffic controllers could not see the lights on radar, despite seeing them with their own eyes in the sky.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
If they were planes, you would see them on the radar.
Yeah.
So it's not a plane.
Unless it was stealth.
We'll get into that later.
Okay.
Based off of reports, it appears that the mysterious spacecraft was enormous, made no sound, moved slowly, and on occasion would hover over an area. Phoenix physician Dr. Lynn Katay was a witness of these lights and states, quote, "It was a mile-wide formation of these orbs, and I caught them head-on turning into a V," end quote. Witness Sue Watson described the craft as, quote, "a shopping mall flying over my home. It had these lights in front, and then it was totally illuminated underneath, like a yellowish amber. It was a totally rounded boomerang shape," end quote. Videos of this second event showed the string of 9 lights hovering in the sky. The lights illuminate off and on, randomly, over the course of a couple minutes, while floating in what could be described as a loose V-like formation. Other videos captured the events of March 13th, 1997, and according to a USA Today article, quote, computer analysis of the tapes puts the object at 6,000 feet long, or more than a mile, end quote.
With these things, I tend to put it first on spooky military activity, more so than extraterrestrials. It just seems like a big gamble for extraterrestrials to just, I mean, if they're coming down at night in the first place, clearly, and they're trying to cloak themselves, well, great. Maybe hang outside, a few miles outside of town.
I mean, really, it's not that much of a gamble. What's the gamble? They're clearly more advanced than us. What's gonna happen? Okay, we see them, we did see them, we're not gonna attack them.
So pop on by around the afternoon.
Because maybe
Let's get some peepers on that ship.
Maybe they saw us and they were like, not interested. Swipe right or left or whatever the fuck Twitter is. Well, not Twitter, Tinder. It just sounded like an 80-year-old man right there.
Well, whatever, Twinder.
Whatever Twinder is.
Twinder.
Yeah. I think maybe they came to check out resources. They didn't like what they saw, so they just left.
While there are people who say the lights were part of one giant craft, there are others who believe the lights themselves were the crafts. A truck driver named Bill Griner's recollection of the event seems to suggest the latter. Griner said that his truck route took him within a mile of Luke Air Force Base. He states that he witnessed 2 orbs, one of which was floating over the Air Force Base. At that moment, 3 F-16s took off, after which the orb pursued one, but then shot up into the sky and disappeared. Quote, before this, if anybody had told me they saw a UFO, I would have said, yeah, and I believe in the Tooth Fairy. Now I've got a whole new view. I may be just a dumb truck driver, but I've seen something that don't belong here. I wish the government would just admit it. You know what it's like in this city right now? It's like having 50,000 people in a stadium watch a football game, and then having someone tell us we weren't there, end quote.
Love this guy.
Yeah, I love it. He's like, he realizes that the first thing a skeptic is gonna say is, oh, it's a fucking truck driver. So
Yeah.
check that box.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, that's a fucking truck driver. He got me dead to rights.
And then he gave a solid analogy of people watching a sporting event and then having people go, hey, you didn't watch that.
And he also gave the, I was a skeptic until I saw this defense, which is great.
It was a
yeah, and I believe in the Tooth Fairy. Go fuck yourself.
It was a 3-pronged attack.
That's pretty good.
This guy is, he's a savant when it comes to rhetoric.
Yeah.
On May 6th, during a council meeting, City Councilwoman Frances Barwood asked City Manager Frank Fairbanks if there was going to be an investigation. Quote, I asked if anybody knew what this object was, and could we check into it. I was met by a whole bunch of stares, end quote. She claims that following the meeting, a city manager approached her and said, quote, you shouldn't have asked that question, end quote. Then, the Arizona Republic published a cartoon of City Councilwoman Barwood with a light switch on her forehead and a button on her jacket saying, quote, I love UFOs, end quote. Barwood continues, the mayor's office put signs on my picture in the hallway, and I found out afterwards they handed out business cards with my name on it that said, speak into the tinfoil, I will hear you, end quote. Despite being ridiculed, Barwood began receiving phone calls from other witnesses, all describing the same thing. Nonetheless, for a while, the case went unacknowledged until a USA Today article released 3 months later on June 18, 1997, described the event, effectively bringing the story into the national spotlight. From the article, quote, on March 13th, hundreds of people reported an enormous object or objects in the night sky. It's the most confounding UFO report in 50 years. So far, there is no explanation, but the government is not investigating. Local and federal agencies disagree over who should purse the report, end quote.
Yeah, I guess it didn't, so there's been almost no coverage of it up until here.
And this is 3 months after the sighting.
Because this is before YouTube or...
Yeah, no one's on Twitter going, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because for example, remember, what was it, like a couple months ago when the SpaceX launch happened?
Yeah.
And it looked like the sky was breaking?
Mm-hmm.
If that happened in 1997, and we didn't have Twitter,
Everyone would think it was an
everyone
alien.
would think it's an alien. They would lose their mind.
Yeah.
Of course, the government was, to their credit, able to give an explanation. They even announced that it was going to happen. They said this shit's good. You know, it wasn't a covert operation. So in that case, I don't know if it's too similar, but the internet is a tool of knowledge, I suppose.
In some ways.
Yeah. Or it could be a means of destruction in the end of us.
Yeah. We just hang in there, everybody.
With the country hungry for answers, then Governor Five Symington held a press conference where he claimed he knew who was responsible and brought out the accused.
And now I'll ask Officer Stein and his colleagues to escort the accused into the room so that we may all look upon the guilty party. Don't get him too close to me, please.
And it's here that this story gets interesting, because despite making a joke of the event, Governor Symington would later publicly admit that he too had seen the craft. Quote, "I saw a huge craft come right over Squaw Peak. It was just breathtaking. As a pilot and a former Air Force officer, I can definitively say that this craft did not resemble any man-made object that I'd ever seen. It was certainly not high-altitude flares, because I've never seen flares fly in formation. Unquestionably, it was a UFO." End quote. Another interesting fact from Governor Symington was the fact that his office did inquire about the object, but they never received an answer. And if a governor can't receive an explanation from the powers that be, what could they be hiding?
There's probably a lot of things they don't tell governors.
Sure, but not when the governor in question has a state full of people that are pressing him for answers. You would think that they would be like, hey, I know a lot of people are on you right now. You're under a lot of heat. This is what you do. But instead they ostracize him. They keep him on the outside to think, oh, I wonder what he's gonna do. Maybe he'll run his mouth.
I would be more concerned if he did know something.
I'm just saying that if they had talked to him, he wouldn't have said anything ever, I think. Because he would have had the fear of God.
But then he's still like a loose cannon.
Not necessarily.
They can't know for sure that if they tell him something, he could go nuts. They don't know.
Yeah, you can, because it's your job. If I'm just saying, by keeping someone in the dark, you're giving them the liberty to say whatever they really want.
With no basis for it, though.
I mean,
so if anyone hears it, they're not gonna.
It has a little bit of basis. He's a governor saying something, so that already inherently has a little bit of basis.
But he doesn't know more than anyone else in town.
I know.
Is the thing.
But it just makes it look more suspicious.
I don't think it does.
I think it does.
Well, agree to disagree here.
All right.
With that, let's get into the theories, of which there are only two. The first theory is the official explanation from the Air Force that the lights witnessed in the sky were merely flares dropped in a training exercise from high altitude that night. The military states that the flares were dropped over the Barry M. Goldwater Range near Gila Bend, Arizona. Though, it's worth noting that Tucson's Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, the base that allegedly carried out the training exercise, originally stated that it had no planes in the air at the time. Former F-16 pilot Ty Groh believes that the lights may well have been military flares. He says that flares go where the wind takes them. A breeze may have been able to carry all of them at an equal distance. In June of that year, a local news anchor taped another flare drop by the military, and skeptics suggest it bared a striking resemblance to the Phoenix Lights. One important detail is what time the military reportedly dropped flares on the night of the Phoenix Lights. The flare drop apparently occurred around 10 p.m., aka the same time sightings of the second set of lights were reported. But while that possibly explains those lights, that still offers no explanation for the first set of lights that were seen nearly 3 hours earlier. One man, named Mitch Stanley, claims that during the time of the first sighting, he happened to be using a high-powered telescope capable of seeing 1,500 times more light than the human eye. When he looked at the first set of lights, he claims they were planes. While compelling, this story seems odd when you consider the fact that no planes were reported in the air during the time of the first sighting. And since it wasn't just one light, but rather 5 lights, it seems odd that there would be 5 unaccounted for planes flying in tight formation.
My gut tells me it's just some shady military activity. Could have been flares, could have been stealths. You know, Who knows?
They've only given one explanation for the second set of lights, and even that explanation to me is shit, I would say. I think it's a shit
This one's shit.
I just think the flares, even if you do buy the flares, sure, the first set of lights still unexplained, except for one dude with a telescope who's competing against 700 witnesses. And why the fuck is this guy with a telescope? He just happens to be using a telescope at the exact time of one of like the craziest events of all time.
You gotta be honest, telescope people are weird.
Yeah, I know. Because he's actually
we don't want to be one of those.
He's a favorite among skeptics. They're like, see, this guy was using a high-powered telescope with his mama, which he was. He was in the back.
No, I don't doubt that that him and his mama were out with their telescope. I'm just saying telescope people, I mean, how much are they spending on these telescopes? They're gonna be out there every single night with a margarita, being like, well, let's see what I find. Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Empty sky again. Whoa, wow, what a night. Well, that's been 8 hours. Guess I'll go to sleep because the sun's coming up. They're basically vampires.
Then he says to his mom, good scoping. She goes, good scoping, son, and then they go back to bed.
When are you gonna move out?
Which brings us to our next theory, that the lights were not flares, but actual UFOs, and perhaps proof of extraterrestrial life. On the 3rd-year anniversary of the lights, another flare demonstration was performed to attempt to mimic the lights, this time by the National Guard, but people remained unconvinced that this was what they witnessed 3 years earlier. The flares, quote, flickered and moved erratically, end quote, and not in the bizarre grouped fashion of the Phoenix lights. Jim Delatosa, a special effects expert, analyzed videos of the lights and said, quote, I have no idea what they were, end quote. Him and his team detail the orbs as, quote, a perfectly uniform light with no variation from one edge to the other and no glow. They have ruled out lasers, flares, holograms, and aircraft lights as sources, end quote. To gain further insight on this case, we sat down with ancient aliens expert Giorgio A. Tsoukalos. What do you think the plausibility of this event actually happening is?
Well, we know it happened. So,
well, we do know what happened, Ryan. I agree. We don't know what it was exactly.
What it was, yes, correct. And what I think is fascinating is that something similar happened 7 years earlier in Belgium, which was also seen by thousands upon thousands of people, same triangular formation, and then also the individual lights. So I think it's fascinating.
Have you seen anything that could maybe be an early version of what we saw in the Phoenix lights?
Sure. What's interesting is that Alexander the Great, and also in some accounts of ancient Constantinople, there are references of giant flying shields. Giant shields that are glowing in the sky and just crossed, over the lands. So when you have these accounts of ancient flying shields up in the sky that are witnessed by armies, you have to wonder, well, were they all drunk? were they all smoking? Or did they actually see something?
Even if the lights were misidentified flares or planes, this still doesn't explain numerous witnesses describing a massive craft that the lights were attached to. Piggybacking off that, on March 14th, 1997, the morning after the Phoenix lights, an airman from Luke Air Force Base detailed a disturbing story from the day prior. He claimed that the base got a call from Prescott Valley Airport, quote, reporting an object that had a near miss with a small Cessna, end quote. He claimed this call came at, quote, approximately 8:32 p.m., that they encountered something over Phoenix, Arizona, end quote. As a result, the airman claims that Luke Air Force Base sent 2 F-15s to investigate. Upon their return to base, here's how the airman described the pilot of one of the F-15s. Quote, the command pilot of this particular flight, I've never seen this man scared, and he was scared to death. He's not sure what it was. His statement was that they followed this aircraft. It went on a straight line course. He saw 5 distinct lights in a triangular pattern. How often would this happen where the military has stealth planes out that they don't tell Air Force bases about?
It's possible.
That seems wildly counterproductive to me. You don't want to be sending out a bunch of planes to investigate things when you could easily be like, oh yeah, that's one of ours.
Yeah, I just feel like the military, it's hard to pin down. Hard to pin down what they might do.
I think I just made a good point.
I mean, certainly a good point for you.
After this revelation, the airman claimed the Air Force Base, quote, had a complete lockdown. All hell broke loose basically, and the facility was closed, end quote. Noteworthy is that this encounter occurred around 8:30 p.m. at the time of the first sighting, about an hour and a half before the military claims they dropped flares. In response, the Air Force has denied this encounter ever took place.
Classic.
I love that, yeah.
Classic. Do you think they just have a dartboard that they throw whether or not they're going to deny?
Just spin a wheel.
Which we tell them this time.
Yeah.
I think it would be a fun job to be the person who makes up fake stories that the military leaks.
Spin doctor.
Oh, a spin doctor.
Yeah.
And then he spins his wheel.
Oh, he spins
that
a wheel.
has
It's all
topics
very
on
literal.
it. And it has topics on it.
We're going with flares, unfortunately.
And everyone in like the office who had flares in their pool is like, yeah!
And they choke Alf a little bit more.
It makes sense that the Air Force would deny this story, since denying interest in UFOs is something that the government has already done. In December 2017, it was found that the nation's Defense Department had used $22 million of their annual $600 billion budget for an advanced aerospace threat identification program. Defense Department officials admitted that for years, the program had been investigating unidentified flying objects. Here's a quote from a New York Times article on a 60-minute documentary on this topic, detailing documents provided in the documentary. Quote, documents that describe sightings of aircraft that seem to move at very high velocities with no visible signs of propulsion, or that hovered with no apparent means of lift, end quote. Why do you think the government approaches the topic of UFOs with such trepidation? Why do you think they're so against it?
That's a great question because as we now know, ever since the 50s and the 60s, you know, open-minded people like the three of us and our great audience, we've always been laughed at and, oh, you know, those are the kooks, those are the crazies.
Yeah.
And then there's reports coming out, well, we've been studying this, you know, files and files with hundreds of thousands of documents worldwide, not just by the US government, but by governments from Brazil, England, all over the place, that ultimately this stuff has been investigated. And the fact that the Pentagon in December of 2017 released a statement saying, hey, we're investigating UFOs, that to me indicates that we've passed, or we are experiencing a paradigm shift, which is great.
In the end, neither skeptics nor believers can concretely prove what happened that night. Despite hundreds of witnesses across an entire state, the world seems content to leave what transpired that night as a mystery. Perhaps one day we'll have an answer, but for now, the case remains unsolved.
Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was the Phoenix Lights. All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page and our BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page.
What a fun episode, though, talking about aliens with our new pal.
Giorgio.
Yeah.
Giorgio. Phoenix Lights, actually this episode was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cases when it comes to extraterrestrials.
Kurt Russell saw it.
He did see it, apparently.
If anyone's got Kurt on the line, send him the link to the episode.
I'm sure he'd love it.
Kurt?
Kurt looks like a guy who really is into YouTube. Facebook, here we go. This comes from Danielle Devoti. I'm with Shane in calling it military activity. We are simply too far away from other inhabitable planets, but let's say it was aliens. They make the trip, however long it would take, and they stay for 3 hours? I won't even drive to Florida from Tennessee without planning to stay at least 4 nights. But aliens that travel from millions of miles away are good with putting on a brief light show before continuing their travels. Also, as far as the lights looking like one massive ship, light pollution blocking out stars and the human brain trying to make a picture that makes sense by connecting the dots, lights. Had there been a mile-long aircraft, there would have been mass hysteria and national news coverage that night, not a newspaper article 3 months after the fact. Hashtag Shaniac.
That hashtag Shaniac is like a fucking mic drop at the end of that one.
Yeah, is it?
I mean, here's the thing. I do believe in aliens. There's a lot about this that is a little strange to me.
The light pollution thing, maybe.
Seems like a little bit of a stretch.
You mentioned the light pollution thing.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I wasn't there. I'd like to have been there. Got to see it with my own eyes, really. I'm at that point.
Looks like that hashtag Shaniac doesn't really mean much. You gotta say something. You gotta say something when you're doing like this. You can't just do that. You can't just make noises.
I think I can. Also, I am similarly confused by their methods or their techniques. This is just in general. It's a different, if it is aliens, it is a different culture. They have different norms. Maybe they have different travel plans. Maybe their road tripping is a little bit different than ours. It does seem strange, though, to fly over Phoenix for 2 hours and then leave. The universe is very large. We could just be a Denny's on the grand scheme of things.
Okay, let's not belittle Denny's.
Oh, I'm not belittling Denny's.
It sounded like you
I
did.
love Denny's.
I love Denny's too.
I've given more to Denny's out of my pocket than any other charitable foundation, I think. Let's take it over to Grandtown. Here's from Michaela Page. Are you guys aware of your matching pants in this scene? Referring to the interview with Giorgio. We were aware on the day of that we had worn very similar pants.
We didn't call each other up though, the night before and saying you were in the red pants.
Ryan, you can be honest with them. Ryan called me the night before.
I did not do
said,
that, no.
I think tomorrow's going to be a red pants day.
Even if that were true, that would mean you had agreed to that. So you were complicit in it.
I said, hell yeah, it's a red pants day.
It's an odd choice.
Sign me up.
You know why it's clear that it wasn't coordinated? It's because they weren't the same shade of red.
We tried our best.
No, we didn't try our best. If I'll tell you one thing, I'll prove it to you. Next week, we'll come into the post and we'll wear the exact same thing.
Should we?
We'll fucking nail it.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook, Ryan Vandeput. This seems to be directed at Giorgio. Don't expect to be taken seriously on Ancient Aliens when you turn up for an on-camera interview looking like Beetlejuice. And with an alien emoji. Not nice, Ryan. Giorgio is
watch yourself.
Yeah, he's a nice man.
When he first walked into the room, yes, his hair was overwhelming. I saw it and I was like, wow.
But he makes it work.
2 minutes into it, I truly believed he was the coolest man in the room.
Exactly. And you don't have to believe that because it was true.
It was true.
It's obviously true. Then again, not a lot of competition to be offered. Not very stiff of a competition.
Just the red pant.
It's just the red pant boys that aren't quite the same red.
RPBs, baby. RPBs for life.
And our crew.
Here's from 911 meme. Could this have been a case of mass hysteria? Seems plausible. Love the show. I don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
All right, next question.
I mean, obviously it's not because we saw news footage of the lights in the sky. Mass hysteria is usually connected to something that isn't even happening.
Right, I can see maybe people's opinions being swayed by if 100 people are like, I think it's an alien. Maybe there's an extra subset of people who barely saw anything and were like, yeah, it's aliens.
Yeah, they weren't saying people were witches.
No.
They were like, holy shit, look at those fucking big ass lights in the sky.
Or dancing themselves to death.
Or dancing themselves to death, as they do in France. Or that laughing epidemic in Japan.
Very good.
Also very good. People died in that too.
Yeah.
They died of laughter.
What a good way to go.
I guess you die doing what you love, I suppose.
Can you just imagine laughing until the light goes out of your eyes?
until you cease to breathe.
Yeah.
There's probably one last horrifying cackle at the very end. And then you're frozen
and you
like
poop
that.
your pants.
Zoe Eloy Lindgren, I still think it's Area 51. Top security aircrafts wouldn't have been explained to civilian or low-level military people. They do shady shit at Area 51, and I think it's actually in their best interest to keep the public thinking that the lights were alien so that our enemies don't know what we're doing. Hashtag Bugaro with ghosts, but Shaniac with aliens. Hashtag so sue me. Hashtag I love you both.
I mean, this sort of illustrates my biggest stance. This is what I'm going with for the most part. I think the government cannot be trusted. I think, you should trust the government to a degree. I don't want to push any.
Hey, don't come on here to push your political agenda, pal. We're talking about ghosts and aliens here.
I'm not trying to encourage you to be a seditionist or anything, but
You should all register to vote, though.
please register
Please
to vote.
register to vote. If you get anything from this episode, register to vote.
And not just in your big presidential elections.
No,
There's
but-
a lot of small local elections that probably affects you even more. Now, you can't trust the government.
Welcome to the spin zone, baby.
I don't know. If they're, I know you had a lot of, you took issue with the fact that they didn't tell the governor. And
I took issue with a couple things in communication when it came to internal affairs here. They didn't tell the governor, which, sure, okay.
That makes sense to me.
Maybe
I feel
fine,
like you
whatever.
wouldn't tell him.
But you should probably tell the local military bases.
It's above their pay grade, man.
So you would rather have our own military fire off missiles at something that's our own ship because you didn't tell them about it?
I'm sure there's like a protocol for these kind of things.
There isn't, because they sent off
I think it's fine. I think
they sent off 2 fighter jets to go pursue something that was our own vehicle then.
did they fire?
No, because they were scared.
Because they were scared. I don't think it's only because they were scared.
That's what it seems like.
I'm sure their boss wasn't like, well, why didn't you shoot him? Even
was
though I didn't
scared.
give the order. No, my knees were shaking.
My fingers were
I
getting
had
sweaty.
never seen anything like that.
My knuckles were sweating.
Meg's Fowler. I know this has nothing to do with this episode, but can ghosts see each other, Ryan? Can they? That's a fair question.
I guess it is fair. Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, I would say so.
A good answer.
I mean,
Yeah, I
like
would
I
say
said,
so.
every time it comes to these ghost logic questions, I'm gonna sound silly no matter what when I answer them.
No, why would you sound
Because
silly?
there's no way
Please.
for me to conclusively say any of that shit. I'm still trying to prove ghosts are real, let alone, hey, do they see each other? Do they like nonfiction or fiction? I don't know.
I guess it makes sense that they would see each other because if we can allegedly see ghosts,
But yeah, I guess if you're gonna logically look at it, yeah, you would assume.
and ghosts can see us if they interact with us, unless there's like a step of removal, like ghosts can only. Well, I don't know.
I'm gonna say yes.
You're gonna say yes.
I think they could see each other. I only say that because there has been EVPs caught of 2 ghosts talking to each other.
Oh, what about The Sixth Sense?
That's a movie. Let's go to Katie Elaine. I still think the first may have been UFOs, but the second could have been flares. The military may have used the flares to try and distract us from the first event and to make us think they were all flares. I just find it sketchy how often these stories change regarding extraterrestrial life.
That's an interesting theory, right? Pretty good.
I think it's good, yeah. She's talking about the first and the second event for the Phoenix Light. The first one had less witnesses, still a good amount of witnesses. The second event was the one that was seen by most news cameras because people had been kind of buzzing about the first event. The military offered the flares explanation for the second event, but has no explanation for the first event, pretty much ignoring that there were 2 events in general.
I love that. I love it.
Which is like why that seems like the ultimate half measure to me. I don't. If
Yeah,
you're talking
that's
about,
why I'm saying they do not give a shit.
I mean, yeah, that would suggest I can't really think of any other thing to file that away under. Yeah, I mean, it would appear that they don't give a shit.
Yeah, I love it. Back on over to Grahamtown, Emily Cargill. You're dumb if you think aliens don't exist, but you're also dumb if you see funny lights in the sky and immediately go to aliens. Also, ghosts aren't real. Emily, there's a lot of negativity in the world. You don't want to go around calling people dumb. If you disagree with someone, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think Ryan's dumb. I think he's excitable. And that's fine.
He's not telling the truth there. He's definitely said.
I don't think you're a dummy. I think you're a smart person with some very unique views that don't always add up. And that's fine.
Okay. Ghosts are real. Lights in the sky may very well be aliens. It may not be. You don't know.
Well, that does it.
It does do it.
What's coming up this week?
This week we have we take a little trip down to the south to start a little 2-episode journey. This first one is good for those thirsty for ghosts.
Oh, if you've got that ghost thirst.
Yeah.
Get ready to get quenched.
Or not. Or not. That does it for this episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem. Make sure you watch the episode this Friday and send your questions into the BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page and the BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page, and maybe you will be
on the next postmortem.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our weekly Q&A concluded. I now welcome you to the part of the show we call the Hot Dog.
What is
the
this
Hot Dog
voice?
saga commissioned by and starring Ryan Stephen Bergara, written by me and adored by every single viewer. And if you don't like it, you can kiss my apple taters. Zap! The tiny ghost of a hot dog witch apparates in the middle of the jungle forests of the alien planet Tomat.
Is this a long one?
Yes, her name is Pam, and for the first time in her afterlife, she's doing the best she can. Gene! Mike Soup! It's me, Pam! We don't know each other super well beyond me dropping all your friends in a volcano. Oh man, I can't believe that worked. Anyway, I got murked and it chilled me out. Just visited Maisie in a subterranean prison cell and it seems like she could use your help. So I Pam Kazammed out of there, which is my catchphrase now that I'm fun. Anyway, I'm here to help now, so come on out. Silence. Tell you what, I hate this planet. As Pam continues through the jungle, her eyes behold an eerie sight. The lifeless bodies of Jean, the Nobel Peace Prize winning French fries, and Captain Mike Soup, a guy who was really good soup. Oh, what the heck? I know I spent a great deal of my life trying to make you guys dead. And full disclosure, seeing you this way, there's a small part of my funky no-good heart that's like, hell yeah. But the rest of me is different now. The rest of me weeps to know that I'll never hear another chart-topping hit from Jean, the French fries who sang songs so good that the US government laser engraved some of their lyrics onto the face of the moon. And Mike Soup, I know you pretended you weren't the infamous soup baron, but we're all pretty sure you were. Without you, the chili wars might still be raging. Oh, wow, a little talking hot dog lady. From the brush, a plupple. Oh, freeze, Dingleberry! Get your hands where I can see them or I'll do some messed up ghost witch stuff to you that would make puke. Oh, hey, no big deal. Hey, you want some money? It's got my face on it. Here's $1 million plupple bucks. I don't want your money, you ho-humming beanbag. I want to know who ordered you to kill these travelers, since you're obviously too inept to make any decisions for yourself. Huh? Oh, no, they're just napping is all. Promise, you can trust me, I'm a plupple. Oh, all right. That actually makes sense to me because the one thing I've always said is you can definitely trust someone who repeatedly insists that you can trust them, you idiot. I don't care if you're a plupple. I don't care if you're Alfred Molina. You think I murdered an entire menu of beloved wedding guests by being honest? I'm the queen of deception and straight up dirty tricks. Game recognized game, however inferior. Hope you don't have much on your to-do list, donkey nut, because you're about to get possessed by a hot dog witch. Huh, oh wow, what the heck are you talking about? Pam hovers in the air, briefly, then shoots toward the unsuspecting plupple. Pam, kazam! Garth stands motionless. He blinks. Shouldn't have done that, hot dog. From deep inside Garth, Pam's voice echoes, faint. What the hell? Where am I? Should have done your homework, hot dog. Only thing deep inside me to possess is a pit. Oh, this is messed up. How was I supposed to know plupples have pits? They don't. Enjoy your stay, Pam.
Whoa, what's all the commotion?
Nearby, Jean and Mike wake from their nap. I've just had a tremendously confusing dream about that old hot dog witch, Pam.
Oh, that lady bummed me out.
Oh, hey guys, we better get a move on if we want to reach your friend before sundown. I let you sleep an extra 10 minutes because you looked so at peace. Aw, Goss, you're a peach.
No, you said it, Mike.
And that's it for, I didn't write the whole, well, fine, wait, will they ever find out next week on the hot dog escape from the planet of the...
You don't need to wrap it up.
It was good. Did that one all, was a smooth, go down smooth for you?
No.
It's getting good.
No. It was like I swallowed the outside of a pineapple. Just rocked my fucking throat the entire time. It was gross.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
Hey, ghosts.
I'm shaking. Well, here it is. The infamous Sorrel-Weed house. It's quite creepy.
Yeah.
As a horror fan, I love it. But the fact that we're about to go inside of it, not my favorite. But you know, we gotta do what we gotta do to get this evidence.
This looks scary to you, though? It's just a...
How does this not look scary to you? I do kind of get Haunted Mansion vibes from it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you, no point in me asking me if you're nervous. Could you say that, like, if this was a horror movie, this obviously would be, yeah, makes sense, checks out that this is a haunted mansion?
Yeah, I actually don't get haunted vibes from it. It doesn't feel like a haunted house to me. That's fine. We can disagree.
Let's just get going here.
Okay.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate the Sorrel-Weed house in Savannah, Georgia, as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? This house has a lot of interesting history associated with it, and this house perhaps sits on a patch of land that may have been the site of one of the bloodiest events in the American Revolution.
History.
So when you're feeling bored and you're not feeling the ghostly energy, just think about all the sweet history, and then you could,
I'll just put my hand on one of the door jams and just really connect.
I don't like how you moved your hand right there. I don't know. Maybe don't think about the history.
It's too late.
Okay. Well, it's gonna be a fun night. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Built in 1840 by Francis Sorrel, the Sorrel-Weed House is said to be one of the most haunted homes in the US. The house was both a home for Francis's family and a gathering place for the affluent of Savannah. In 1859, Henry Davis Weed bought the house, hence why the house is called the Sorrel-Weed House, referring to its first two owners. Tour guides believe the spirit of Francis Sorrel, the original owner, has made itself known in the dining room by moving a chair to and from the table. In one instance, a candle was tossed across the room. A floating candlestick is pretty on the nose.
Pretty on the nose, yeah.
But sometimes things are on the nose because they actually happen all the time.
I think the fact that it's I want to respect the history of it, and while that's happening, I have to deal with all this stupid bullshit about candlesticks floating in the air like it's the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland.
Well, it's actually not bullshit, it happened, so.
Okay.
So I
Great.
don't know what to tell you, bud.
No, that's good.
It is good.
Let's keep going.
So right now we're heading to the dining room. This is actually a room that's not often investigated, so.
Is it because No,
there's no particular reason, they just don't offer this part in the ghost tours.
Oh, I see. So this is a little treat for us.
This is a little treat for the boys. All right, so hello, whoever lives in this room, or if there's anybody here with us right now, my name is Ryan, that's Shane. If you would like to communicate with us, now is the time to do so. Is there any members of the Sorrel family here with us today? Francis, are you here? We hear you like to move things on this table as well. Could you maybe move one of those candlesticks?
Maybe make that napkin wiggle.
We heard a lot about Southern hospitality. We're from California. Ow! Could you pass me that cup over there?
You're talking to the ghost?
Yeah.
I could sure go for a coffee.
Francis Sorrel was said to host parties in the two connected parlor rooms. Guests often report the smell of cigars and brandy.
Okay, so the parlor room.
So back in the day, they would have parties here. The gentlemen would be drinking brandy and smoking cigars. They'd be on this side of the room.
Looks like they had
They'd be
a hell
talking
of a party.
about, yeah, they'd be talking about business. And on this side of the room, this is where the women would sit.
Oh, not too far. Women sitting here, stare at their portrait of Christian Bale.
You know what? I kind of want to picture a Christian
Yeah,
Bale.
you gotta
too.
get
I'll
one
get
with
him
Christian Bale.
Big fan. Shall we begin? Hello to whoever is in this room. I would say ladies, but anytime I say ladies, it makes me sound like a creep.
Yeah, true.
Well, how do you announce yourself to a room without saying?
Ladies.
There's footsteps.
You better check it out.
You hear that, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Who's upstairs?
Can we go upstairs?
No, it's condemned.
Oh.
We'll fall through the fucking ceiling. I swear to God, if...
There's someone up there, Ryan.
There is, I know. I'm getting chills. Let's go outside and look. Come on.
Oh,
Let's
look
staircase at the least. Who's up there? Well, we can't go up here because it's not safe up there to walk. but there is definitely somebody up there. I know that sounds like a cop-out. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think there's someone up there. Are there like open windows up there or anything?
I mean, I don't know how that explains footsteps. Maybe say something that's nice that'll make people come down.
Hi, please come downstairs.
That's what you landed on? What the fuck was that?
Sound like a dog.
Come on, boy. Come on. Come on. You want a treat? I'm shook. Francis's son, Frank Sorrel, was a doctor that used the basement of the Sorrel-Weed house as his office for a few years. Guides called this room the surgery room and say that Dr. Frank Sorrel used it as a trauma surgery unit. This room is reportedly very active. People have allegedly experienced unexplained touching, shadows, and bizarre feelings and have seen an apparition pacing in the room. In the surgery room, a little girl is also seen who likes to play hide and seek. A chair is often moved as well. We hear that Frank, if you're in here with us, you used to perform surgery in here and that you were quite prolific at it. Is there anybody down here with us? Make your presence known.
Are there patients in here?
Is there anybody
Is this your
in here?
last place that you remember being alive?
You know, we hear that there is a little girl in here.
Oh, is this the ankle biter?
Yeah.
Go on.
And
Here's some ankles if you want to give them a little bite.
We hear that you like to play hide and seek. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna play with you.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not? Here we come. Oh God, I'm actually scared to open my eyes.
It all looks the same.
It does look the same. Let me scan my little flashlight here. Are you actually hiding? Are you playing or no? Is there anybody here with us? Can you move something? Give us a hint?
You don't ask for hints when you're
Well,
playing hide and
if
seek.
the hiding spot's really good, you eventually will ask for a hint, and they'll usually like tap or something.
What? I would never give hints.
You just stayed hidden? How long would you do that?
As long as I had to.
Alrighty. Well, let's fire up that spirit box.
Oh,
Oh, God, did you hear that spray?
Yeah.
Here we go. This is a device that you guys may be able to use to speak to us.
So matter of fact. This is a device you may use to speak with us.
Well, that's what it is. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
know.
How else am I supposed to describe it?
No, you've nailed it.
Okay. Who is in this room with us?
Sandwich? Is there anyone here in this room with us? Please tell us your name. Is there a girl here?
If there's a little girl in here, could you tell us your name? We hear you like to play hide and seek. What happened to you? I'm going to need to hear some clearer responses for me to know I'm talking to somebody. What in the name of God was that? What did you just say? Who was that? Hi, sorry, whoever just spoke, could you speak again? If you want to talk, we're right here.
Son?
If you want to talk, we're right here. Hello?
Oh, spooky.
All right.
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
I think you're always satisfied.
No,
2 seconds on, satisfied. All right, we're gonna leave this surgery room now. By the way, we never found you, so you could come out of your hiding spot now.
We never found you. Oh, hide and seek. Yeah.
We didn't forget about that. I guess you'll just stay hidden.
Yeah.
Okay.
The game's over.
The game's over, by the way.
Well, she doesn't know, and she's just hiding for the rest of her ghost
We're
life.
serious. Just don't say I didn't tell you. I'm serious right now. The game is over. I don't have any more energy to look.
Game over, man.
This house was also a site of tragedy for the Sorrels. On March 27, 1860, Matilda Sorrel, Francis's wife, died at the age of 54 after falling, quote, from the second or third story window of her residence on Harris Street, end quote. Her cause of death was listed as concussion, but many have speculated that her death was a suicide.
And this is actually the courtyard that Matilda fell into and died.
Oh, okay.
We're not really sure how it happened, but
concussion.
This is or why she fell, I should say, but this is where it happened. This is the floor we were at right here. It was this balcony. She fell right down here. Quite the fall. Matilda, are you out here? What happened to you? Did you fall? Why did you fall from the balcony? Did someone push you? Did you jump? Can you shut that door right there if you're out here? She doesn't want to talk to us.
No.
I wouldn't want to talk to us either. I don't blame you.
I don't blame her.
This house may be haunted by past events that didn't occur in the house at all, but rather on the ground it is situated on. In the fall of 1779, America was in the midst of the Revolutionary War. The Siege of Savannah, which some historians called the bloodiest hour of the Revolution, pitted the Americans, with aid from the French, against the British, who at the time occupied Savannah. The Americans were unable to liberate Savannah, and the battle claimed over 1,000 lives. According to local historian and author James Caskey, part of the British fortifications were situated on what is currently Madison Square, which is across the street from the Sorrel-Weed House. According to tour guides at the house, the site that the Sorrel-Weed House was built on may have served as barracks for British soldiers during the Revolutionary War and the Siege of Savannah. In one tragic instance, a cannonball crashed into the barracks, killing 12 British soldiers. It's said that they are often seen in one part of the basement.
I remember I used to think cannonballs were hilarious until I saw The Patriot. And that thing goes rolling through the field. It just knocks people's legs off.
To be fair, cannonballs are pretty hilarious.
Yeah, that's just
like
a big metal ball.
They're in cartoons, it's just a big ball. Also,
That's
when you're
great.
like, what's the funniest thing you could do at a pool party? Cannonball!
Yeah,
Boom!
good point.
You
Good
splash
point.
with
That is
everybody,
very
everyone
fun.
has
Everybody
a great
loves
time.
it.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
They all get all wet.
Very good. You're the life of the party.
As I said before, according to the historians in this house was perhaps the barracks for former British soldiers, maybe a command center of some sort. Either way, it said that a cannonball fired through this building killed 12 British soldiers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they're seen in this area and over here in this room primarily. Just seen lurking.
I guess it kind of makes sense because this is the first floor. It's slightly below ground, but it's like halfway.
Yeah,
so
this is where, if a cannonball came through the building, right, it would fall down a certain amount of floors, carry things with it. Alrighty, well, I'm Ryan.
That's true.
That's
Shane.
where you say you're Shane. As I said, we're both Americans. The war happened a long time ago, so if there's any soldiers with us here today, it's a friendly zone right now. You could talk to us, you could move something, you could make your presence be known. Or if you're not feeling that friendly, maybe you're feeling a little salty, I get it, sucks to lose. Maybe you could show us some of that anger.
Oh, yeah. Really let loose.
Let off a little steam.
I don't request that very often, but I officially request.
Holy shit!
What? What'd you see?
I just saw a figure, head, shoulders, walk right there.
Right here?
No. Right here.
Right here. You saw a figure, head, shoulders, walk right over here. Now, it couldn't be that the light might be playing tricks on
No.
it.
This was a person.
You saw a person?
It was either a ghost or a person. I don't know which one it was, but something 100% walked right here.
Well, you had your, did you have a camera pointing at
I mean,
it?
my chest. I don't know if it saw it. Holy shit!
What? Well, let's hope. Otherwise, we have to depend on your... Oh boy, here he goes, he's off.
What the fuck? That's not even open up to the street. I saw it.
Okay.
Honestly, my first impulse was it's a person because it looked like a person.
I'm saying you're a jittery guy.
I know what I fucking saw. It was a fucking person.
In the basement, there's also a small breezeway where guests can sit in a chair and are sometimes visited by a shadowy apparition. Who this apparition is, nobody knows, but one guest reported feeling every possible emotion at the same time and ran out of the house. To finish this out, we'll investigate this area individually.
So this is your little viewing of the Shadow Man in the breezeway.
So here's the breezeway. Gonna sit in this chair. I'll try not to fall asleep. I'm very tired. So.
Fuck you.
All right.
All right.
Wish me luck.
Yeah, because you definitely need it.
Yeah, Ryan's gonna go nuts down here. There's a lot of light pouring in, shadows.
I'm already doing it. I'm starting to freak myself out. Nope. Not today. Not today. Not today.
Hey, if there's any ghosts down here, it's just me now. There's no one else on this floor. Just you and me in the dark.
I'm a little concerned about what I'm going to see when I'm down there, but I don't think it's going to hurt me, I think.
Come on. Hey. Hey, ghosts. Tickle me. Tear my eyeballs out. Grab my nipples.
All right, Shane.
That's 5?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Was that quick?
Yeah.
I feel like if I closed my eyes for a little bit and opened them, it would almost feel like I got abducted.
All right.
Did you feel a rush of emotion?
No, I didn't. It's nice though when you don't forget to. Oh fuck!
God damn it. Okay.
All right. Good luck.
Oh boy, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Welp, I have once again gotten myself into quite the pickle, haven't I?
I really hope we hear him screaming.
I guess I'll bask in some silence for a little bit here, because I hate doing that. So let's do that for a sec. This is a shitty situation. I'm very scared right now. But you know, I've been given the opportunity to maybe catch a ghost on camera, so maybe it'll happen right now. I saw one of you earlier. Whoever was walking around earlier, I saw you.
I hear him talking quite a bit, which means he is rattled.
Is there anybody down here with me? This is where the infamous Shadow Man is. Who are you? Okay, 2.5 minutes. Come on, Ryan, you could do this.
I don't want him to have like a full mental break. Maybe close. Close would be good.
I'm not ready for you, but if you want to come out, now would be a good time. And God knows I'm scanning this whole room. I feel like I've been down here for 5 minutes. Why have they not come to get me?
Ryan's 5 minutes are up, but I'm just gonna give him a few more minutes. Make him think that he's going nuts.
I'm shaking.
All right.
I feel like that was longer than 5 minutes.
Oh, we thought we'd give you 10 and just see how you did.
You son of a bitch.
Well, I figured you might not notice the passing of time down here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that sucked.
How'd it go? Yeah, it wasn't great.
No, it wasn't great. I don't think anything happened though, or at least I didn't catch it, but I was scanning pretty wildly.
You seem very twitchy right now.
Yeah. Well, my eyes hurt because they were open for 8 straight minutes.
You didn't blink?
I don't think so.
I'm just giving you more time with the ghosts.
How about this? Let's just get out of here.
That sounds good.
Let's do that. Well, Sorrel-Weed House, it's been fun.
Yeah.
We've been introduced to a whole cast of characters tonight.
Howler monkey?
There was some noises. There was a weird thing going on upstairs. I saw one of you walking around down here, but I think I've had enough. So, you know, toodaloo, I guess.
See,
the ghoul boys are out. I am out. I'm done. You coming?
Yeah, you got a flashlight?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I can't see anything. Okay.
As I said up top, the Sorrel-Weed House is said to be one of the most haunted homes in the US. After spending a night within its walls, I can see why it makes that claim. With dark history and a front row seat to one of the bloodiest events in American history, there's plenty of reasons why some spirits remain. But whether or not the Sorrel-Weed House is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was the Sorrel-Weed House. All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page and our BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page. What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay, well, let's just get to the questions.
Let's get to the questions,
yeah, how about that? Yeah. This comes from Christina Dunbar. Postmortem question, did you check upstairs for a squatter? That dog bark sounded way too real and loud to be from outside. I've done photography in old buildings and sometimes people have been known to squat in sections that are off limits. That's my first guess to why it was so loud. You hear that, right? That house is giving tours maybe 3 to 4 times a day.
Yeah.
So the possibility of a squatter to be living in that house, I'm gonna say pretty much 0.
Yeah, very interesting. It did sound like a full dog. I know you talk about how hard it is for ghosts to do anything at all. Like, you know, they use all their might to push a tiny little tube of toothpaste off a shelf.
Yeah.
How does that square with a full dog running around, a man walking around? What is that? That's a class 5 ghoul?
Yeah, that was a class 10.
It was a class 10
That was a class
ghoul.
10 ghoul house. That place was a goddamn fun house.
I can't believe it.
I couldn't believe it. Also, that place, I will say, that was maybe the most rattled I've been in a long time.
Yeah, you were very scared.
It felt like something was watching me the entire time I was there. I felt very uneasy. I did not like that house one bit.
Hey, wait, you know, why don't we take it on over to Grahamtown? Here's from Died Obsession. All I gotta say is stop letting Shane hold his own camera. He ain't good at it. Hashtag Shaniac. My own Shaniac's coming for it.
That's a scathing review from Died Obsession, or Died Obsession.
You know, I'm not Lubezki over here, all right?
Yeah.
I'm not Janusz Kaminski.
Yeah. Oh shit, Insider Cinematography. References is coming from over here. You got one more? You want to? What about like a?
No.
This comes from Pauletta Jumbo. For postmortem, have y'all considered bringing more trigger objects? Trigger objects. The dog doesn't count because technically it's part of your equipment. Something like toys for the children, hospital equipment for nurses, borrow some old war memorabilia for the soldiers, or something relevant to the time period the ghosts are from. Hashtag Bugara. Hashtag fuck the hot dog up. Oh man, that's a hashtag I could get behind. Let's get fuck the hot dog on, maybe some horns celebrating.
Horns. I would like to dress up more in period attire.
The thing is,
don't really have the budget for
I was
that.
about to say, I would like to do that too, but in order for that to work, it would have to be convincing.
And convincing costs dollars. maybe.
More than Party City. I agree, we should use a little bit more trigger objects. Sometimes we have used them in locations, they just get cut out of the episode because nothing happened. But I'm always open for more methods, so if there's anybody, any other methods out there that you guys think we should use that aren't ghost tech.
Yeah, you know, not.
Things that we could like, I guess like the
We're
best.
not looking for snake oil here.
Well, the best things I think are like household items or just everyday items that could be fitted into.
Like a wooden spoon. Let's take it on back over to Grahamtown. Here's from Callie Owen. I really want to know what Shane thinks of the apparition because personally, no offense Ryan, it was probably different in person. It looked like literally nothing. #Shaniac. Yeah, I sort of agree with you.
Well, you didn't see it, so.
I had my back to this
Admit it.
thing.
How happy were you that you covered my ankle completely? Holy shit!
What? I take no joy in that.
I
really don't.
I think you did take a little joy in it.
No, come on.
If we go through this frame by frame, I think you could clearly see a figure blocking the light and moving across the screen. The camera guy is in motion. I will say this, if this occurred without any of us seeing it, like let's say I'm going through the footage later and I see, oh, I think there's something moving in the background there.
Yeah.
And if I go frame by frame, that looks like something. But if that didn't come without one of us saying, I see something moving over there in the moment, I don't think it would be as compelling. For this, because I saw something walk there and I know I saw something walk there and we catch this, I think this is pretty compelling footage when you put that together, contextualize it.
I believe that you think you saw something.
That is
that fair?
the most frustrating thing I've
What?
ever heard in my life.
That's all I can give you right now.
When I saw it, it looked like it was inside the house. Where it was walking was directly into a brick wall. So, and if you see in the episode, I take off to go look for it.
Yeah, you went nuts. We have to depend on your... Oh boy, here he goes.
I saw it.
Okay.
We have never faked evidence. We have never...
Never have.
We've never added a little flavor to the episode.
We don't ham it up.
To make sure you guys get something.
It would be incredibly easy for you in various locations to do this every place we go and say, oh, I saw something over there. So the fact that you don't do that, that's why I say, I know you don't take this as a compliment, but when I say I do believe that you believe you saw something, that's coming from a place of respect.
Sure. I think we've proven that I'm more than happy to give you guys a boring episode if that's in fact what happened. If nothing happened, I think that's great that we would just end up making jokes.
And that's the Ghoul Boys difference. Yeah, we'll go back to Grahamtown. Here's from Crabtree Abstract. I don't believe Ryan saw what he thinks he saw. It was most likely his mind playing tricks on him. Once my brother didn't get enough sleep for multiple days and saw Slender Man at work. He just continued to work because he knew the power of the brain and that it wasn't real. And as for the footsteps, it is very possible there is an animal living up there, like a raccoon. Your brother saw Slender Man at work. You ever seen Slender Man at work?
No, I haven't seen Slender Man at work. Here's the thing
you could have just said me. That was
I don't care. I don't give a shit about the bit right now.
I'm here
to speak some truth.
All I give a shit is for all I shit for is that I shit for the bit.
Shit for the bit. # shit for the bit. That's Shane's deal. Me, I'm here for some truth. Here's what I'm gonna say right now. I'm very tired of skeptics. When something doesn't fit their narrative, they'll just say, you didn't really see it.
I think it was very much a dog up there. I mean, we heard little scratchies.
We also heard footsteps, though.
I think it was a dog and a man.
No. Okay, and a man. That's the key part, and a man.
You think this is Lady and the Tramp? Dogs just living his own life?
You never heard of a stray dog before? What the fuck was that?
I said you did really see it.
You said I think I saw it.
I said I believe that you believe you saw it.
That's the same thing as saying you didn't see it. It's literally, it's you didn't see it.
I believe you believe you saw it.
You're just painting the turd gold. In that, but it's still a smelly opinion.
I guess we'll call it a turd. Yeah, your
opinion
evidence?
is
Sure.
your opinion is.
I think you're painting it gold.
I think what you're doing is you're just saying.
You're wasting your time painting that thing gold. The paint's just gonna just melt off.
Then stop painting it gold then.
You're the one painting
You're
it.
the one who has the paintbrush in your hand. There's
You
paint
got
on your fingertips
Get
right
out
now.
of here. I don't have paint on my fingertips.
Fucking Bob Ross over here. He's painting
He
turtles.
never painted with gold. Oh, here's a great one. I just had to throw this in because there's so much flavor to it. It's from Asgard Dickory. Sure. 10 quid on it being a pigeon doing all that tromping around upstairs. Fella's trying to build a nest. Rude lads are filming his crib. He probably barked just to shake you up. Hashtag Shaniacs.
The most English question on earth.
I love it.
A pigeon wearing sneakers now.
Oh, tromping around upstairs. No, it wasn't a pigeon. It was for sure a little dog. Little dog.
But yeah, that's it for the questions this week.
What do we got coming up this week on our season finale?
We go to a house that is, dare I say, as whimsical. Well, it's not as whimsical, but it's got a certain amount of whimsy that's comparable, I'd say, to the Winchester Mystery House. From the outside, at least. Even in the inside, too, actually.
There's a lot going on in this place.
Yeah, there's some things about it that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
It was built by a man and two brothers that were, I guess, believers in spiritualism. So it's a fun house.
Yeah. What a fun season it's been.
That does it for this episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem. Make sure you watch the episode this Friday, our season finale. And after you do that, send your questions into the BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page and the BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page. And maybe your next question, or maybe your question will be on the next postmortem. Yep, okay.
Great, our weekly Q&A concluded. I now welcome you to the part of the show we call the Hot Dogga, a hot dog saga commissioned by and starring Ryan Steven Bergara, written by me and adored by every single viewer. And if you don't like it, you can kiss my apple taters in the subterranean Plupple cave state of the planet Tomat Zero. Maisie, the holographic corn, stands in the center of an expansive coliseum. In the stands, the Plupples have gathered in droves, though they're not really super aware of what's going on, which is that Maisie is about to prove her innocence in trial by combat against a giant Plupple. Joblet the Elder Plupple addresses the crowd from his pulpit in the stands.
Oh, plop, plop, my fellow Plupples. It's almost Friday, the day for kissing. Everybody's plupping for the weekend, am I right?
The Plupples plop with excitement.
But before we finish off yet another wonderful week of mining for that special mineral that makes my eyebrows look as good as they do, we have some business to attend to.
The Plupples plop with excitement.
Now, I'm sure you've all noticed a lot of commotion around here lately, but I can assure you things will get back to status plup ASAP. As you no doubt recall, we've been terrorized by the hologram corn interloper who stands before us. Maisie, can you say hi to them?
Hello, Plupples. The Plupples plop.
Now, the venerable Dr. Gundis has graciously offered our dear friend here the chance to prove her innocence via trial by combat. But he had to heal up, get more sane. You all know how Dr. Gundis gets.
The Plupples begin to chant for Dr. Gundis. Hey, Browse, wrap it up.
Well, I suppose it's time to bring out our dear leader to see if he's sane and ready. Plupples, plop your plops together for the venerable Dr. Ernesto Gordon Gundis.
The chant grows as a giant pulpit raises in the stands. A gruesome, drooling egg. It is Dr. Gundis. He does not look well.
All right, I'm back.
Gundis! Look, Maisie, some decorum.
No, Gundis, if you value your life, you might consider staying out of mine. Really, is there any way we can just put this all behind us? Maybe you just let me find my friends and get out of here.
Are you fucking kidding me? You shouldn't have asked that question.
You were insane.
I figured it was worth a shot. I'll still do your stupid combat thing.
Oh, thank God. Whew, I was about to flip my shit.
Even though, full disclosure, no offense, you seem nuts. Every Plupple on the planet gasps.
Oh, Maisie!
What? The guy can barely string a sentence together.
I may be just a dumb Dr. Gundis, but my mind is so clever, some describe me as a god.
Oh, venerable doctor, the lady thinks you're touched in the mind. Can you please put her in her place?
Okay.
Here he goes.
Oh no.
Dr. Gundis, 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 Dr. Gundis. My name is Dr. Gundis, and I'm here to say you will soon straight up die today. All my little Plupples know I'm perfectly sane, so now it's time to play my funny little game. My giant fucking Plupples going to kill you dead, but here's a little something from the top of my head. Dr. Gundis, Dr. Gundis, Dr. Gundis, Dr. Gundis. All the Plupples in the house say, man. Goodness. Also, I swear to God, if you kill my giant Plupple, I'm going to skin you alive. What are you gonna do, Good luck.
Well, he seems sane enough. Let the combat begin. Release Mufus. The cranking of the heavy iron gate echoes in the arena as a gargantuan feral Plupple lumbers into view. It is blue like you've never seen blue, and it dwarves Maisie. While Dr. Gundis stares blankly, the Plupples plup, and Joblet barks at the giant Plupple from the crowd. Faster, Mufus! The giant Plupple lumbers ever closer and roars in response. Faster, Mufus! Maisie scrambles backwards. Whoa now, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. Joblet continues to hiss. Now, Mufus! Now! Now, Mufus. As the giant Plupple bears down on Maisie, she closes her eyes for a brief moment. They snap open. I'm so sorry, Mufus. I'm so sorry, Mufus. I am not a giant Plupple. I am not a giant Plupple. Mufus stops. From deep in his belly, a rumbling. Joblet stands up in the crowd, horrified. The giant Plupple, now in agony, bellows one final time. Thank you, Maisie. Mother of God. Mufus explodes. It is deafening. Tune in next week for the season finale of the Hot Dogga, Escape from the Planet of the Plupples.
Thank God.
Isn't that good?
No. All the way down to sunny San Diego for Villa Montezuma.
Architecturally speaking, this looks like it was built in the classic haunted house style.
It does. It does look like a spooky fun house.
Think we'll have fun in there?
No.
I think we'll have fun.
Well, you think we're gonna have fun everywhere. You could go into a building that's on fire and you'd be like, this is a blast.
I would not say that.
After you, sir.
All right. Oh, that's okay.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Villa Montezuma in San Diego, California as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? This house has had many owners and residents, two of which were known to perform seances in this house. So there's no telling how many spirits reside here today.
It was a party house.
It was a party house at one point.
I like that.
And you know what? Some say the party's still going. So, cowabunga, baby.
Oh, I think the party's about to get taken up a notch, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
No, the ghoul boys are here.
No, I think we usually bring it down.
Oh, no.
And then the party
We're
leaves.
gonna bring it up.
Okay,
We're gonna
today's
bring it
different
up.
then.
I got my party boots on, you know what I'm talking about?
The same boots you always wear.
They're my party boots. I'm a partying guy.
All right, well, let's get into it.
Okay.
Built in 1887 by spiritualists William and John High, Villa Montezuma is 2 stories high with dark wood walls, silvery ceilings, and bright stained glass windows by artist John Mallon. The house sits mostly undisturbed, except for the occasional quarterly tour. In fact, we are the first paranormal investigators to ever shoot a paranormal investigation inside the building. Weird occurrences are said to happen in the home, such as a corner where plants refuse to grow, and a stained glass window of Peter Paul Rubens, whose beard is supposedly graying slowly.
This is the guy whose beard is said to gray more and more each year. Looking at it now, it definitely looks like
It does look like it's wearing away.
a very old picture.
That's like saying, well, this photograph gets more and more yellow over time.
It's true, I guess.
Villa Montezuma was constructed for a man named Jesse Shepard. Shepard was a famous musician with spiritualist ties. Prominent musicians can be found depicted in beautiful stained glass windows around the home. Jesse incorporated spiritualism into his performances, claiming he could connect with spirits and that he could channel these spirits through his music. His vocal range allowed him to sing, quote, in 2 voices, end quote.
That's ventriloquism 101, I think.
I didn't realize you were so into ventriloquism.
I did have a dummy for a while.
That kind of explains a lot. I could just picture your mom like walking down the hallway in high school, like, hey, it's time to get up for school. And then she starts to hear voices.
She's coming, don't talk to her.
But I want to talk to her.
Shut it.
She doesn't want to go to school.
Sorry, Mom. He makes the decisions around here.
You damn right I do.
Jesse would give performances and allegedly hold seances within the home, but eventually would steer away from spiritualism and leave for Europe to pursue a writing career. Ultimately, like many future owners of the home, Jesse would fall into financial ruin and would actually die while playing the piano in Los Angeles.
Huh?
So he gave his last performance, he was performing at a benefit.
Yeah.
He would get really into his music, and then he did this one note like this, and everyone was like, oh, he's really letting it sizzle. Okay, he's really letting it sizzle. Okay, this is maybe too much sizzle. Wait a second.
He's dead?
Is he dead? And the answer was yes. I don't know how I'd react to that. Like, was everyone just like... They start to look at each other concerned, like, okay.
Another round starts back.
Yeah.
Let's stand up for this one. Maybe that'll...
Yeah, what does this guy want from us?
I think he pooped himself.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, that performance is very avant-garde.
This is embarrassing that I think that's so funny.
It's very disrespectful, but it's human. It's gonna happen to all of us, depending what you ate.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is so disrespectful. It's just
sorry. Oh boy. Look, we know it's disrespectful. You don't have to say it in the comments. We're sticking with this one.
It's said that Jesse's spirit haunts this home. One room where we might find him is the ballroom, or the music room where Jesse would put on elaborate performances where he would channel the spirits of the great musicians on display in the house.
Is he a knight?
It looks like he's a knight. He's got like a big ass axe.
Oh yeah, he does. That's actually pretty cool. And yet he's got a big axe, but he's doing the chill pose.
Yeah, that's kind of like the, I got an axe, but not that big of a deal though. If he had Tinder, that'd probably be like the third picture.
Yeah.
You know, this is where Jesse Shepard would actually put on the performances for the guests he would have at his house. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different musicians in stained glass all around.
Who's around here?
You got like Beethoven and the classics.
The classics.
Anyways, he thought he could channel Mozart, all these people in this house while he performed, because that's what he believed.
Was he good?
He was very good. He was world renowned. He was famous.
Okay.
Should we try and reach out to some people here?
Absolutely.
Let me put in my little headphones.
Your ghost stethoscope.
Are you here right now, Jesse?
It's a good house. It's very quiet.
Yes. I heard you were pretty damn good at the piano. I wish I could have heard it. How many performances did you have here?
I'm just imagining that piano in this room, the way it's just, imagine that sound bouncing off the hardwood.
This is a very intimate room, too, for that kind of performance.
If I was in this room listening to just someone if you said he was very passionate, really pounded away on those things.
And he said he could sing in two voices.
I'd be losing my mind.
Yeah.
It's like Beyonce at Coachella. You'd be just losing your mind.
I don't know if it would be that good. Beycello is supposed to be pretty damn good.
I know.
Would you like to sing for us, Jesse? I know that you're not a jukebox, and I'm sure you probably got that most of your life, but we do hear you had the voice of an angel.
Voice of two angels.
Apparently. We're gonna give you the floor now, so if there is anything here that actually has something to say, the floor is now yours. We're gonna be silent. Anybody could speak to us right here.
Anybody.
And you better hurry, because I'm about to bring out something.
Ghouls, I beg of you, sing. Sing with your two voices, Jesse. Please, play the piano. You're gonna regret this.
You leave me no choice.
Jesse!
All right, this is gonna help you maybe to communicate. You could use this energy to speak to us, because I know it's a little tough. And also, more importantly, Shane hates this, so I also love doing this. Here we go. All right, let's try this again. My name's Ryan, that's Shane. Can you... My name's Ryan, that's... Meatballs?
He said you would know. A lot of chatter here today. All right, we're off to a fine start here. Grilled cheese? What?
Would you just... Hold on. Okay. Hold on here. My name's Ryan, that's Shane. My name's Ryan, that's Shane. Can you see either of our names back? Would you shut up?
Year? It's 2018.
What color shoes am I wearing?
What if it was like, those sneaks are weak, dog?
A little girl on a tour of the house claimed to hear a chorus and old organ music while in Jesse's bathroom. His bathroom is located in Jesse's bedroom.
So right now we're entering Jesse's bedroom, and there's the bathroom, and someone apparently heard music coming out of there once. Granted, it was a child who heard that, but
Yeah.
you know, children can be more receptive.
Hey, can they?
I think they can.
What are we doing in here?
We're reaching out to Jesse.
No spirit box, though?
No spirit box.
Cool.
Jesse, if you're here, we are in your bedroom now, in your private space. I'm sorry, but we only just want to talk. You could say anything to us right now. And if you don't want to talk, you could swing this chandelier into the side of Shane's head and concuss him.
You could. It's sharp. It's definitely sharp.
Sharp enough to get the job done. Or you could just talk to us.
Should we turn the lights out?
Oh yeah, I haven't done that yet. Ooh, that always does make it so much worse, does it? All right, Jesse. I don't know if this is gonna make it easier for you to talk to us, but it definitely makes me more scared.
We are understanding and friendly. Just two nice guys.
We're gonna go into your bathroom now, Jesse.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's where they heard the music come from.
Oh, true.
God, could you imagine getting up at night, taking a whiz right here, and having that staring at you?
Hey, you closed the door. What are you, an animal?
Well, I mean, if you live alone, you close the door when you pee alone?
I think, I do generally.
Oh, it's just like habit. You could be taking a dump and looking down the hallway.
That's actually kind of fun.
Unless some kind of specter starts walking towards you.
Be cool to put like a little skee ball thing at the end of the hallway. Well, off to a good start in here. We're going to be quiet now so we can listen to the things that a child heard.
Is there anybody in here with us right now? Anybody down that hallway that wants to come walk towards us?
What if you stand in the bathroom alone?
Sure.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, why not?
Good luck.
Cowabunga? I don't know.
Cowabunga?
Oh, I hate this. Is there anybody in here with me? Can any of you, if there's anybody here, can you show me a sign? Can you say something? Could you move something, make some noise? Bang on the wall?
I just think it's funny to make Ryan lock himself in a bathroom in the dark and go, okay, sure, sounds good.
Alrighty, I'm leaving. You had your chance. Oh shit, you fucking...
Just opening it up for you.
So loud.
Some believe that the house is cursed, possibly explaining why several of the house's many owners ended up in financial ruin. Eventually, the house sat uninhabited and in disrepair until it was saved by the San Diego History Center in 1970. One of the house's inhabitants, a woman named Mrs. Montgomery, was also a medium who would host seances in the home, which makes two former residents of a house built by spiritualism practicers of seances. Because of this, there's no telling how many spirits walked through that door, and more importantly, how many stayed.
So now we're actually entering the seance room, and this is where, and at least Jesse conducted his seances. I don't know about the next owner.
Look, they've actually captured a ghost in this box. They've got it on display.
Lazy. That's really all I have to say about that one. That's
It's not lazy, very funny.
Pretty lazy. Here we go.
Now we're ready for you. If you didn't hear us in the other room, my name's Shane, that's Ryan.
Yeah, that's me.
And we're here to get to know you, be your friend.
Yeah.
We want to listen, really.
We're just here to talk to you, to figure out what you felt about this house when you were living in it.
How funny is it that you were trying to talk to dead folks in here, and now...
It's kind of ironic, right? Yeah.
We're trying to talk to you.
I was also gonna say, what if he doesn't know he's dead? He's conducting a seance, and
he thinks we're ghosts?
And he thinks we're the ghosts.
A classic Sixth Sense scenario.
Or
the others.
Or the others, spoiler alert.
Or that one Goosebumps book, The Ghost Next Door.
Yeah, that's a good book too.
Anyway, if you're hearing us right now, we're not the ghosts, you're the ghost. Unless...
You know, I guess I did get into that car accident a while ago, and it was a pretty close call. It is possible that I'm dead right now.
One time, I cut up an avocado, and there was a lot of meat left on the pit. And I put the avocado pit in my mouth.
The entire pit? You put the...
Yeah, and I started to just kind of get the meat off of it. And at that moment, I was like, if I sneezed right now, this thing would lodge into my throat. And ever since then, I've kind of been terrified of avocados. But the other thing is, I always thought, what if I did die then?
Fuck, dude.
I mean, we tweet all the time, so.
That's true, yeah, people, this would be a pretty elaborate shared delusion. Anyways, this is actually a secret passageway.
Excuse me?
Well, it doesn't work anymore, so I guess what I'm getting at.
That was a false candle?
Yeah, and it would pull, this thing would open up, and it would go to the upstairs. We'll actually see where it goes to later, but I don't know why that exists.
Yeah, I suppose you'd want it to go to a secret room and not just another floor.
Yeah, that's why it seems kind of just pointless.
If you pull this book out of the shelf, you'll get to the kitchen.
Or you could take the stairs.
In the 1940s, Edward Campbell purchased Villa Montezuma in search of buried treasure located in the basement, only to find nothing over a 4-month search, resulting in Campbell selling the home.
Rumor has it that there is treasure buried under here. Now that treasure must be pretty damn old, because that means it predates the house, which was built in the late 1800s.
Gotta be worth a lot of moolah these days. Imagine how many queens that's worth?
That's probably worth at least 100,000 bones.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So how about it? Whose treasure is here? What was that? Was that you?
Last chance. We're gonna take the treasure if you don't tell us where it is.
So you're threatening to take the treasure if he doesn't tell you where the treasure is?
That's right. Don't poke holes in it.
Okay, I'm just making sure it just doesn't seem like a very...
I'm just trying to spook him.
Okay.
I'll come back here with some new technology. That thing where they put some dynamite in there, like in Jurassic Park when they...
He's gonna come back with some new technology. That thing that they put the dynamite in, like Jurassic Park.
To find the raptor bones. You remember?
You remember that, right? Person who doesn't know what a movie is?
Whatever, man. Fuck you.
It's said that a majority of the activity occurs on the second floor of the house.
And just above us is where perhaps a butler hanged himself. Very unfortunate. I don't know if that's a legend or if that actually happened, but who's up here? We can't go up there because it's condemned, but is there somebody that walks around up here now? These were old living quarters. It could be anybody. Could you show us you're here by making your presence known? Could you move something? Make a noise, bang on something? Could you move this blue ball that's sitting on this chair? Nope. Okay, we're gonna walk to the other room over there.
The final room we'll investigate is a room where the spirit of an old man is often seen sitting in a chair. The man's identity is unknown. Some speculate that it may be the spirit of the servant who hanged himself in the home.
This is a room in a house where people claim to see an old man sitting in a chair, which frankly is a horrifying thought.
That's spooky.
It's very scary, I don't like it.
I'm not into that. What if you woke up in the middle of the night and there was an old man sitting in the chair in the corner of your room? That's a lot, right?
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
To imagine.
Why haven't you moved on? You're obviously an elderly man. Seems like you can move to a better place. Did you do something?
Maybe he just likes to relax.
In this room?
I mean, you put down a throw rug or something, it's fine.
I guess.
Nice view of the skyline. Let's close our eyes. Maybe you'll feel him in the chair. What about that?
Yeah, that sounds
Is
good.
that a thing?
We're gonna close our eyes now. We're gonna give you some time. And if we open our eyes and you're sitting in that chair, we really just wanna talk.
Yeah, that's all we'll do. We'll just talk.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All right, we're gonna open in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I didn't think you had it in you.
He's not there.
No. Well, I can't say that I'm not disappointed, because I am.
You can't say that you're not disappointed.
I can't, is that a double negative? I can't say
It's
that
a triple negative.
Wait, I
Can't say that I'm not disappointed.
What would you say? I can't say.
I'm not disappointed. I can't say that. I am disappointed. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get back up. He's gonna get back up. We're gonna pick up our gear and we're gonna leave. And that's it. You're never gonna see us again. So if you want the chance to speak to somebody who actually will take the time to speak to you, I suggest you appear in that chair. Last chance. Here come 30 seconds. That's it then.
We're gonna leave.
We're gonna leave the house, so.
Unless you appear in that chair in the next 2 seconds. All right, we'll see you later.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. Season finale. Oh, you're leaving me. And now I'm in a room talking to not even the old man, I'm now talking to myself. You're not gonna even help me carry this tripod out?
No.
Well, you would have made a good season finale if you appeared in that chair. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but it's not always about you. Just saying.
After years of trading hands, the hauntingly beautiful Villa Montezuma sits uninhabited. A house built by spiritualism would definitely seem to be ripe with activity, but whether or not Villa Montezuma is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
We could also look at where that secret passageway leads to.
Oh, cool. Wow, so there's the door.
That's the door. I don't want to open it, but yeah. Like I said, if it were me,
Yeah.
I would make a hidden passageway go to a panic room or a hidden room, not,
Dad's den.
you know, where I log on and check the stocks.
Yeah. And apparently, take a shit on your desk.
I guess so. Or, oh, actually, I think I know a different reason why that would be there.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hello and welcome to another edition of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem, a show where we answer your most pressing questions about the most recent episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved, which was Villa Montezuma. All the questions we're answering today came from you guys via our BuzzFeed Unsolved Facebook page and our BuzzFeed Unsolved Instagram page. I knocked elbows with you, so sorry about that.
Whatever.
I'm
not moving.
Didn't mean to do that.
Not moving my elbow. It's the last postmortem of the season, and we're all very sad. It's been such a wild ride. We've caught so many ghouls, been so many places.
Catching ghouls, killing ghouls,
Buying boots.
buying boots. I moved this weekend, just a little inside of my life.
I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, last postmortem of the season.
Yeah, I said
We made
that.
It. We made it.
Yes, we did it. We
did
made
make
it. We're
Yeah.
still in one piece. Once again, not a single scratch on me, so that's disappointing.
Yeah, disappointing for all of us. For any ghouls that are watching this, any ghosts that watch the show, I imagine there's some, feel free to kill him. Kill him, just enter his body, do what you gotta do, enter through his chest, expand make his head explode, take the life out of his eyes.
Do it.
I want him to look like
Infinity War spoilers incoming!
Vision in the.
You want me to go gray? Everybody talks about when everyone fades away, but
he turns gray.
he goes gray as hell.
Yeah, he does.
It's great. It's very funny.
He's very useless in that movie. That's all he's good for is turning gray, getting stabbed, giving Thanos the last Infinity Stone. That's all he.
Here you go.
I think I'm gonna make it, guys. I'm flickering all movie. All right, what a loser. What a loser.
Hey, let's get to some questions about ghosts.
Okay, this comes from Pauletta Jumbo.
We've had Pauletta Jumbo before.
I don't know if it was last week, but it might have been the week.
I recognize that name, unless there's a whole Jumbo clan out there who's been commenting. I remember the
but
last name,
I
Jumbo.
remember Pauletta. For postmortem, I've noticed that y'all have an extra camera person on these investigations. Who is this mysterious and brave person, and what are their thoughts on the locations they've been at? Also, are they a believer or a skeptic? Hashtag Bugara. Hashtag fuck the hot dogga.
Oh, fuck the hot dog guy. Yeah. Are they referring to Mark here? So there's two.
Mark. Yeah, we've had
technically three.
We've had a lot of camera people that come with us, and they all kind of, I feel like,
different areas on the spectrum.
areas on the spectrum.
Mark is chill as hell. I've never seen that man rattled.
Mark may be a host from Westworld though, and
possibly.
his emotion level is very centered. I haven't seen him scared. Seldom do I see him smile.
When we record the episodes, we yammer back and forth for about an hour.
Yeah,
It's pretty insufferable.
Yeah.
One time we did that, I think it was at Waverly, and we cut, and Mark just looked at us and said, "Good bits, guys, good bits."
But he meant it. I could feel.
I think he did mean it. It was the warmest I've ever seen him.
Either way, this seems like a good time to thank the crew of Unsolved. Usually you'd put this at the end, but we're gonna do it in the beginning.
We'll do it now.
We'll do it now because we're crazy like that. That goes for all the editors, the researchers, everybody that helps in pre-production, our coordinators. Is there anybody else I'm missing here?
There's Rick, who has to animate the hot dog every week.
Yeah.
What a tall order.
That's true. He does also animate for the main show. I only have to sit through your stupid little tales for the 5 minutes we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think dark thoughts. I think my darkest thoughts.
Yeah.
Rick has to actually sit with headphones, listen to this guy's voice on repeat, and create the little manifestations that come out of
And he has a great time with it,
what this man calls a brain.
Also, big shout out to Devlin and Mike Riley, who edit all the postmortems.
Everybody, we got a solid team. Got a solid Unsolved fam.
Couldn't have done without them all.
Well,
let's go over to Grahamtown.
Oh, we never really answered the question, by the way.
Are they a believer or a skeptic? Mark, I don't think is a believer. TJ.
But he's not a skeptic either.
Yeah, he just doesn't acknowledge most things.
I would say most of them are
He's
agnostic.
just there to do the fucking job.
Yeah, he's there to do the job.
Tej, I would say, is a skeptic.
I don't know what happens in Tej's mind. I don't want to. It's a very dark place. He also has piercing blue eyes like the ocean.
And then Devin, who was with us, is, I think she has the vision, or the shining, if you will.
Yeah, she's sensitive.
Sometimes we'll walk into a room and she'll be like, "There is a dark energy here."
She doesn't do that.
She does that, her eyes turn white.
Doesn't happen. Let's just move on to the next
Yeah,
question.
let's go over to Grahamtown from Mary Bologna. Bologna? Why were you guys extra funny this episode?
Sorry, I don't know.
I don't know. You know, the house itself didn't seem that, it was fascinating, but it wasn't that intimidating to me.
There was a level of whimsy to the house that made us maybe feel like, uh-oh, it may be more time for Chucklefest.
Yeah, sometimes you get a vibe where you're like, okay, I think, you know, if this house was built by spiritualists, you know what? I think they would have been down to clown.
I think they would have been. We also did laugh about a man pooping himself on a piano for a good 20 minutes.
I think he pooped himself.
Jesus Christ, man.
Wow, that performance is very avant-garde. For the record, it's not a fact that
he did not poop himself. That's just something I assumed, or he assumed.
I did assume that. But there is something inherently interesting about someone dying playing the piano. That's very good.
I would hope that if that happened to me, someone eventually would find it quite funny.
Yeah. I hope I could have a sense of humor about my death. Also, credit where it's due. We cut that down from about 10 minutes into 20 seconds, maybe.
That's true, we did. Well, there would be times when we were talking about something in the story that had nothing to do with that at all. And one of us would maybe have just a glimmer of like,
oh boy, you remember that guy pooping himself on the piano?
A hint in our eye, just a little glimmer in the eye, like we could tell the other one was thinking about it. Also, he's got a funny looking face, so that already kind of doubles in terms of like how hard it was not to laugh.
And frankly, when you're in a haunted house, it just feels good to laugh. Let's go back to Facebook, Ryan.
Yeah, let's go to Gaia Nust at 8:55 right after Shane says it's 2018. I think you can hear "You're mistaken." By the way, I think Shane should speak with his Southern gentleman accent more often. It seems to incite more responses. Love you both. Hashtag Shaniac by day, Bugara by night. Very fun.
Heads up, if you're a Shaniac by day, Bugara by night, you're a Bugara. Get out of my camp.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't need ya. Shaniac's gotta be there 24/7, baby. Ready to kill ghouls.
A lot of people are leaving that camp.
That's fine. Did it sound like that to you? You're mistaken?
Let's look at it.
Year? It's 2018.
Oh, it does kind of sound like you're mistaken.
Sounds like a spirit box.
Is it the clearest voice we've ever heard on the spirit box? No, but
There was a pretty clear one in this episode, wasn't
there
there?
was a pretty clear one.
What did it say?
You would know.
You would know. Yeah, fun. It's fun. I could speak with a Southern accent. I don't know. I would really only do it if the situation demands it.
Yeah, if it's in your toolkit, you don't want to use that tool unless it's necessary.
No, especially because that's a potent accent.
It is a potent accent. It's kind of like a lot when you learn how to play acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
You don't want to be popping that thing out.
Are you still doing that, by the way?
I'm still learning to play acoustic guitar.
You should bring it on and play for postmortem one of these days.
No, I'm not
Write
gonna,
a little song.
No, I'm not going to do that because I'm bad.
No, come on.
No.
Everybody wants it. If you want Ryan to play the guitar,
No,
on
don't ask for
Postmortem
that.
next
No,
season,
do not ask for that.
chime off in the comments. We'll get a full performance from him.
It's not going to happen.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
I can't wait. Let's take it back over to Grahamtown from Katharinua. Is there a petition I can sign anywhere to get rid of the spirit box for next season? Hate that thing with a passion. Hashtag Shaniac.
No, it's going to stay forever.
Okay, let's take it back to Facebook.
Let's go to Larissa. Larissa?
Larissa?
She sounds like
Larissa.
She sounds like she could be in the Wu-Tang Clan.
Larissa. That's pretty good.
That's good. Any Tang heads out there?
Any Tang heads?
That's good.
You want to appreciate the films of Jim Jarmusch.
Yeah. For postmortem, have you guys ever thought that ghosts are actually annoyed by your presence? So that's why they rarely do what you ask to say and move something. And when you guys say, okay, we're leaving now, the ghosts are just like, thank God. I assume that anybody I come into contact with is very annoyed and is bubbling over to the point where at any given moment they will punch me in the face.
I'm gonna disagree with you there because I would think that if ghosts were real, their personalities and their temperaments would be as wide and varied as those of real people.
But it's just
some people you meet, they don't like you one bit.
As a general
Other people, they might be like, hey, how's it going? You want a jelly bean? You know?
I'm not taking a jelly bean from a stranger. That just
Would you take one from a ghost?
No, that would also be a stranger.
What if there's a jelly bean floating in a room toward your mouth? You wouldn't open your mouth?
No,
I'd open my mouth.
Anything that's floating around in a room like that, my first thought's not like, oh, let's put that down my esophagus and see what happens.
What if it's doing a funny little wiggle?
No, that doesn't change anything.
Means it's harmless. Then it's like, oh.
Were you one of those kids that just like eats glue and shit like that?
Didn't eat glue. I did eat worms.
Eat little bugs and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
At a young age, a very young age, I was eating ants.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go back to Grandtown. From Claudia CPC. Question for the postmortem. If ghosts are real, do you think all of them from different centuries are in the same dimension or no? What I mean is, would a ghost from 2018 walk down the street and go, whoa, that guy's from the 1800s? P.S. If you ever come to Stockholm, Sweden to investigate the 1932 unsolved murder of a prostitute, hit me up and I'll buy you a beer. Love you guys.
I'd love to go to Sweden.
Sounds cool. I mean, not a woman getting murdered.
Yeah, I think it was clear you were talking about Sweden. Sweden seems neat, yeah. I don't know what ghosts can see. I'm not a ghost. I know that they exist. I know that sometimes we could perceive them every now and then. But in terms of what they're thinking or who they can see and what they can see, what they can say, not really sure. Not gonna pretend I know.
Tune in next season for the premiere of Ryan's acoustic guitar song, I Don't Know What Ghosts Can See. Just a really tender ballad.
It's not gonna happen. I wouldn't write a ballad.
Why are you even playing this thing if you're not gonna lean into the douchebag stereotype?
Because it's a therapeutic device for me. It's a place for me to go within, center myself, and then I play my guitar, and I feel like everything's okay.
Well, I think it's a waste.
Why don't?
Well, let's hop back to Facebook, Ryan.
Oh, that's why we're here, forgot.
Yeah, we're answering questions.
Okay, Shannon Myers. That secret passageway between the second floor and the main floor was probably used to trick people into believing there were spirits about. Like someone could have used it to quickly move upstairs above the room while the seances were going on to fake spirit footsteps, moving furniture, or even knocking on the walls from the inside behind the hidden doorway. Just a thought. My sister Erica and I love your show. You're both awesome. Shaniacs rock. It's Cute hashtag.
That's pretty clever, actually.
The Shaniacs Rock hashtag?
No, I mean
That's super clever. How'd you think of that one? Can't imagine how you piece that bad boy together.
Fucking drag them just because they are having fun with hashtags, you piece of shit.
Hey,
she just said we're both awesome.
Just know.
We're both awesome?
No, just know.
Why don't you go eat a turd?
I didn't say eat a turd. You know
That's
what,
he
Shannon?
said. He whispered
Just know
it to
that
me.
all whatever seemed like anger right there was all directed towards you.
Nice hashtag.
Hey, all of that was towards him. Yeah. This passageway, I don't think we stressed it enough in the episode. It's a very dumb passageway. It's not more convenient than the stairs because the stairs, you just walk up them, you're right there. You're there in like 5 seconds.
Well, I think that's their argument. They're saying obviously it's not convenient, so what else could they be using it for?
Well, they said quickly move upstairs, but
Oh,
this is like
sure.
a little, you gotta crawl through this like Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
Unless they just don't show it to people, or if they are, they've got someone hiding behind the wall.
But you saw how narrow it was.
Well, we didn't see behind it, did we?
No,
we
but
did.
she said it was a crawl thing.
Oh, she did say it was a crawl thing, yeah. I don't know.
And then I love the idea of it being kind of like a Scooby-Doo mansion where there's a guy with little eyes in the paintings. That would be really good. I don't think that's the case. Also, I don't think that they were trying to convince anybody ghosts are real in this house. They weren't like, this is a fun haunted house. They were just like, we believe in spirits. Now here's some tunes.
You're also gonna hear that quote next season. We believe in spirits. Now here's some tunes. Ryan'll whip out his axe. Why don't we jump back over to Grahamtown? Here's from Zoe Kelt. What order do you put on your shoes? Sock, sock, shoe, shoe, or sock, shoe, sock, shoe? Love you guys, hashtag Shaniacs.
Sock, sock, shoe, shoe.
Yeah, what are you, insane?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I'm actually gonna try that tomorrow. It's gonna be a big morning for me.
I don't like the idea of one of my feet just being completely naked while the other one has like a shoe. I don't think I've ever had a scenario.
I've ever done that, no.
Have you ever had a scenario where you have a full shoe and sock combination on one foot and the other foot is like naked?
No.
I feel like I would have to be blackout drunk for that to happen, or I would have to be stranded on a desert island.
Yeah.
Yvonne Rose DePerter. Hey, ghoul boys, it's me, Yvonne.
Hi, Yvonne.
Was Ryan's crying laughter during Shane's poop joke due to his low standards for humor, or has this season finally made him go insane? I kind of think both, but let me know. Hashtag both Shaniac and Bugara. Hashtag love you both. Hashtag see you next season.
Low standards for humor. Everybody can enjoy a good poop joke. Who do you think you are?
I dare you to listen to a couple fart noises and not at least crack a little. Farts are funny. I don't know, if you don't think farts are funny, I don't know what to say to you. That's like a basic thing.
Watch, we'll put in a sound effect. This will be very funny. That's good. That's just funny. Now you do one.
Here you go.
You got one.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
One last cue from Grahamtown from Rathleen K. For postmortem, next season, can you intro haunted places a la Guy Fieri introducing sick joints and triple D, hashtag Ghoul Fieri?
I'm not familiar with Guy Fieri's intros.
I've never seen the show.
Neither have I.
Guy Fieri seems like a cool dude.
Does he?
Yeah.
Wait, why did you include this question if you don't know what that means?
I thought maybe you knew who he was.
I don't watch Guy Fieri.
I mean, I know who he
I'm
is.
sure. You know, maybe I'll watch an episode of Guy Fieri. Why not? I gotta see what's up with this triple D.
Diners, drive-ins, and dives?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Diners, drive. That does it for questions, but we do have something else that was sent in by some of you guys, and it's actually pretty awesome. So we got this in the mail. It's a little scrapbook. There's so much work that went into this. We have a bunch of users. First off, they have a group chat, and they call it GC Tinsley. Very good.
Classic.
We have 2 Ashes, Bianca, Chloe, Claire, Dana, Gracie, Hannah, Meg, and Miranda, and they sent us this scrapbook as well as
this very analytical essay
Yeah.
on Maisie, a very compelling character.
Yeah, literature on the hot dog. Didn't she
very
even
well
give you a
written.
word count?
Yeah, 1,740 words.
That's 1,740 words over the limit.
This is no joke. This is very comprehensive.
Yeah. Everything about this was just very clever and thoughtful, and I loved it. So thank you for sending this. This is awesome.
Very well put together. And finally, you'll notice we are wearing some new merch.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we were doing that. You know, it's good to step across the aisle every now and then and just show that there's a mutual respect.
We can get
there.
along.
Then you wash your hands.
Yeah, I wash my hands.
I hope you do.
Yeah, I do. So we've got these classic baseball tees.
Whatever team you are, this has Medea on the back, that has Bergara on the back. You could announce which side you're on, and you could respect the other side.
Oh, we got
even
more
if they're
too.
very, very wrong.
Oh, do we ever have more, folks?
Oh wow, we have more tees.
Yeah, there's even more.
We got some koozies.
Check out this muscle tee. It says, "This is the season of genuine wheezing.
If you got some muscles, you could show them off in that tee.
Yeah.
And if you don't, who cares? Still wear the tee, because it's fun to wear tank tops.
We've got this
flowy.
one,
Lots
if you
of
want to
hair.
announce, it says, I'm just here for the cult stuff. A classic.
This is a logo koozie. This is a Unsolved truck.
A little food truck with some pluckles in it.
Anyways, lots of good stuff here. Check out the designs on the site.
Anything we missed?
Actually, these designs are live now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
As of the airing of this, they will be live.
What is this?
That's a Ghouligan muscle.
I didn't even see this. What the heck? That's good.
It's good.
Ghouligan's muscle tee, I love it. Oh, and here's this one too. Crack open a cold case with the boys.
Oh yeah, that's the logo on it.
Yeah, but you put it on a shirt too. See that, folks?
Slap it on the shirt, slap it on your chest.
We try to give you some fun stuff here. Try our best. Ryan, what do we got coming up next week?
Nothing.
I know.
Devastating. This was the season finale. We're gonna go back into a slumber. We're gonna take a little ghoul hiatus.
Nice to take a break from the ghouls. Nice to take a break from the spirit box.
And that is it for this episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved Postmortem. There is no postmortem next week, so you don't have any questions to send in because there's no episode.
Feel free to stop by Midsummer Scream or VidCon.
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
You could send in the questions there in person.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, our weekly Q&A concluded. I now welcome you to the part of the show we call the Hot Dogga, a hot dog saga commissioned by and starring Ryan Stephen Bergara, written by me and adored by every single viewer. And if you don't like it, you can kiss my apple taters. In the subterranean Plupple Cave state of the planet Tomat Zero, Maisie awakens to a scene of chaos and devastation in the wake of the giant Plupple explosion. Innocent Plupples wildly scramble to flee the crumbling Coliseum. Dazed, Maisie can barely get to her feet. With the sound of an impact nearby, a blast of debris launches a maimed Joblet to the ground in front of the holographic corn. Joblet looks different. Even his eyebrows are not as good. You're a peach. Oh, congrats. Where'd you go to college? Detective school?
Oh.
Look, Peach, this whole cave is about to collapse on our asses. All you have to do is tell me where Garce is headed with my friends, and I'll drag you out of here so you can live out the rest of your miserable life. It doesn't matter. They're headed to the Dark Master. Let me die here with my brows looking so great. Joblet passes out. Ugh, your brows look like shit, but I'm gonna save your life for my benefit. Maisie picks up a beaten old communicator from the rubble at her feet. Maisie to Minestrone. Oh hey, this is the Minestrone. I was napping. Mind giving me a lift out of the Plupple Cave state? Few more minutes and I'm cornmeal. Baller, hang tight. Suddenly... Oh wait, let me turn the volume up on this. I'm sorry, Ryan.
Didn't come prepared. Wow.
Wait. Suddenly... Dr. Gundis, now fully insane, staggers toward Maisie. Gundis! I have no beef with you. You're clearly dealing with some stuff. Just let me leave this planet.
Don't worry, Dr. Gundis will murder you.
I feel like you're not being receptive to literally any of my shit.
Time for death.
Man, it's just so seamless. I can't even tell. It's like I recorded it myself.
The deranged egg bears down on Maisie with a violent madness in his bloodshot eyes, when suddenly the cave ceiling collapses, showering the area with rubble and giant stalactites. A ray of light bursts through the crumbling cave as the starship Minestrone appears. Below, the dust settles to reveal Maisie and Joblet alive and well, but the venerable Dr. Gundis is cracked in two by a dislodged stalactite. Oh God, I gotta get off this planet. Minestrone, activate the tractor beam. Powering up, please hold. All right, yeah, no rush. Maisie stands awkwardly for a few seconds. Suddenly, the halved shells of the late venerable Dr. Gundis quiver. And then...
Oh well, coming out of my shell. Whoever knew that it could feel so swell? Yes, sir, today I'm here to stay. I'm sad that giant Plupple passed away. You know, in all our lives we go through darkness. For example, I was hypnotized for many, many years, and I'm frankly not too happy about it. But soon my troubles passed me by, and I'm unburdened and a feathery, and this bird is feeling ready to take it to the sky. I wonder why. Those plupples made a king of such simple guy. You'd think they'd want a ruler, maybe saner and a little cooler than a cracked egg with two vacant eyes. Okay. Go!
Hey, I hate to interrupt your song.
Oh no, go for it. It's the instrumental break.
Well, the planet is falling apart and I've got to leave.
Hey, you need a little company?
I mean, I guess I could use someone to keep the treacherous Peach in line when he wakes up.
Well, then I'm your chicken. Life in a shell can be hell if you're under a spell. But if you do your best diet test, your tasty friends will take care of the rest. I once killed the Pope with my friend Mike Soup. But he was bad, so it was rad, and now it's firmly in the past. Now I'm ready to fly the coop. Oh, shoot. It's been a hoot. Wish I could hang, but oh gosh dang, I gotta scoot. I think I'll grab a ride with a holographic corn right by my side. Oh, by the way, I'm Dr. Goondis, so pleased to meet ya. Let's go and find your friends. Dr. Goondis has left the planet of the Plupples. Come on, Smeech.
Well, we'll see you next season.
What the hell did I just listen to?